Well, we are back, huh? We're back at the 9 Club, everybody. Woo! Today, we got a special guest. Lizzie Armanto is here.
Welcome.
Thank you guys for having me.
Hi.
Dude, when you did the ooh, your lips were like quivering. Like,
Ooh, you got to get that cadence out. Ooh, you know.
She was smiling the whole time.
Plus, it's Halloween. You know, you got to get a little spooky.
I was wondering, like, do you have to practice that, or like, do you just like on the spot, like it just comes out naturally, and like you have the feeling?
I have no idea what I'm doing, Lizzie. The cameras turn on, the mics turn on, I just go.
Do you feel it though? Like when you're just
I do. I get into it. Because I'm stoked you're here. I'm stoked all the guests that sit in the chair are here.
Yeah, Chris didn't like practice that. He just like that. This happened over time.
Actually, I stood in front of the mirror for like 3 hours
it
this
evolved
morning.
for sure.
I can imagine like the first time you were probably doing that. It was just like probably sounds so different than today.
You know what? It came out of nowhere though, because I never used to do that.
Like the 30-somethings.
30-something episodes?
Yeah.
I don't know. You just kind of do this thing, and then it's just become the standard thing. Yeah. And then some people want more specials. How'd you feel about that? 3 is good?
I think you should give one more.
3 is my favorite number, actually. I was surprised that you like were on.
It's
that
also
level.
The magic number.
It is.
Yeah.
Schoolhouse Rock.
3 is the magic number. How are you?
I'm great.
Yeah?
I'm happy to be out here back in LA.
Yes. You are down in Oceanside now, right?
I am. It's
Why?
fun. It's fun though because I'm like far away and like I get to miss it. And so I come back and it's like every time I'm like, oh my God, all of these things that I like, and I'm just going to do these things.
You weren't born and raised here, but you grew up here in Santa Monica, right? You moved around a lot when you were younger?
Yeah. So I was born in Simi Valley. And
no
then
way.
Growing up, we like jumped all around LA, but Santa Monica's the place I've lived the longest.
Okay.
Like I went to middle school there, went to high school there.
Wait, which high school?
Samo High.
Really?
That's where I went.
What?
I went to Samo High.
You did too, Chris?
I did.
I never knew
I'm
that.
so, what years did you go?
I don't remember the years, but I left.
When did you graduate?
Like 40 years ago or something.
But the thing is I went to Samo High, and then unfortunately I wasn't that good of a student, so I was failing out of a lot of my classes. And so halfway through 10th grade, I left before it went on my permanent record. And then I went to some like cheesy private school in Malibu. Got all straight A's when I went there, though. All straight A's.
Were you there when there was like all the stuff, like the riots or something? There was like a bunch of things, and then they ended up adding this new class to like kind of, I don't know, get everyone to like, I don't know,
bond together or something?
I honestly forget what it was, but in 9th grade you had to take this class, and it was because like the riots were happening at the school.
Whoa.
When I went there, it wasn't easy. There was a lot of fights, some drive-by shootings. It was kind of a rougher school, you know. And I think the riots happened too. The ones in like downtown, South Central.
I was like a baby.
That's crazy though, because I'm only 27.
I'm about to be.
What month? Do you want to disclose what birthday? What are you?
January.
What is that? Is that
I'm an Aquarius.
Aquarius.
So January.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm in the end of January. My brother and I are the same. He's born on Valentine's Day.
Really?
Yeah, so he's an Aquarius too.
Chico Brenna's Valentine's Day.
Chico Brenna's Valentine's. Look at that,
right.
huh?
He's cool.
I want to thank you though, because you brought us all bobas.
Yeah.
Haven't had one in a long time.
I know,
Me
they're
neither.
delicious. And also, too, you have some type of cookies there or something that you baked. What is this?
So I have like mochi butter muffins.
Mochi butter muffins.
Axel and I made them last night.
Okay.
Sounds awesome.
I had like honestly in the car ride up here, he was like, "Can I have another one? Can I have another one?" And I was like, "There has to be some for them."
There's got to be some left. Oh, please, Raj, take one. Usually we don't eat on the show because people don't like us chewing into the microphones. But I got
I'll grab one in a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
I gotta
Thank
taste
you.
this. Mochi. What? Say it again. What is it?
Mochi butter muffins.
Oh, they're very
Good.
chewy. Oh,
They're like
yeah.
spongy.
Yeah.
Like they have
Oh.
a really cool texture.
Recipe off the internet?
Yeah. Axel loves them. Like he's like, they're so good.
Is he a good cook? Does he bake or anything?
We made them together.
But I don't know. Is he like if he was alone, would he be able to pull it off?
Could he feed himself?
Yeah, I think it's just a confidence thing, maybe. Like, I don't know if he'd just, like, be like, oh, how am I going to make this by myself? But he totally could. He's super capable. Like, he cooks when I'm not home.
Well, these are really good.
They're good.
Wow.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I'm distracted right now. I wanna eat
Enjoy.
these things. Thank you.
I'm stoked to, like, share some things that I really like. Like, this stuff is, like, my stuff.
That's your happy place.
Yeah, like, I like cooking and just enjoying, like, trying new things.
Is this the same type of style that like the ice cream is made of? Mochi ice cream?
There's, like, mochi flour in both of them.
Okay.
But, you know, that one is just dough and, like, it's not baked.
Okay.
This one, you throw in the oven. Oh my God, I have a convection oven and I had no idea things cook faster in them. Because, like, I put the thing on for 55 minutes and then, like, halfway through, I'm like, they look like they're about to be done. And I was, like, so surprised. And I Googled it and I was like, oh my God, it's true.
In the convection oven, what does it just blow the hot air around the oven more?
So it's, like, an even temperature all throughout the oven.
Oh, okay, interesting. Now, how long have you guys been going out, you and Axel?
3
Axel
years.
Kreisbergs.
Yeah.
Is that right to say it? Yeah.
We've been going out for 3 years now.
Okay. How's that going?
It's good. We, like, live together in Oceanside. And
Really?
we're both doing our thing, skateboarding.
Now, that's the question I have. How is it two skateboarders? Because listen, you guys don't skate for the same companies, you know, so it's not like you're going on tours together. You're just kind of, he's got his thing going on, you have your thing going on, and like you're traveling a lot, he's traveling a lot. Like does it work out okay, or do you guys like not see each other for a while?
Like you said, we both have our own things going on, and you know, he'll go one way sometimes and I go the opposite, and like, I don't know, we just like, now there's like the phone and like FaceTime and
right.
like we pretty much are connected as long as like, you know, the time works out.
Okay.
Sometimes like we'll have a trip like in the same place. So next month we're going to Brazil together for a contest.
Okay.
And like he's on Vans now, and sometimes there's like overlap with that. And so maybe I'll get sent out to the same event as he does.
Oh, gotcha.
I don't know. Sometimes it works out where like I can bring someone, and so he'll like come with me, and then sometimes we'll just like stay longer, and then we're on a vacation together.
Perfect.
Well, it's crazy too because most couples don't usually skate together, and I mean, my experience, my girlfriend doesn't understand the lifestyle of a skateboarder, so it's cool that you guys understand each other's lifestyles pretty well.
A lot of people think, oh, you're just going out playing with your friends.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and it's just
Yeah.
they don't get it, right?
Yeah, I mean, skateboarding's different like that, and it's cool that we're from like different sides of it. Like he skates street and I am more transition, and like I feel like since I've been with him, like now I like, you know, I'll try to skate street because it's like it's fun, and like he'll come skate the vert ramp.
That's awesome.
Wow, yeah.
I feel like we're like he could skate like transition pretty well.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he grew up skating a park and they had a bunch of transition in
Okay.
it, and I don't know, it's really cool to see things. Like
Yeah.
he's made me appreciate like things that I didn't understand before.
There you go.
And it's still funny, like, so he just filmed for like the Toy Machine video, and he like goes out filming and like he'll text me he did this thing, and I don't see, like, I can't see the spotaways, or like sometimes he'll forget to take a photo and he's like, I did this like grind transfer over, and like
That's so sick.
in transition skateboarding, like, you know, you go up the wall and you come back down the same wall unless it's like a spine. But I don't know, like one time he was like, oh yeah, I did this, what was it? It was like blunt to like, or what, oh my God, why am I saying it? It was in the Toy Machine video, but it was like a transfer, and then he went to like front blunt kind of over.
Okay.
And like in transition skateboarding, it wouldn't work. And so when he was explaining it to me, I was like,
like your mind wasn't
get it.
processing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, like I just had no idea. And then once I saw, I was like, yeah,
Makes
it
sense.
is.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool, you know? I mean, I guess too, I mean, you're surrounded by skateboarders, you know, so that's who you'd meet,
Yeah.
right?
When did you start skating? How old were you?
I was 14.
In Santa Monica,
Yeah, I started skating at the Cove.
the Cove Skate Park.
Oh.
Yeah.
Chris, remember?
Not a member, but I would go there for sure. I wouldn't skate the bowl, but
I've never skated there. Don't you have to wear a helmet there all the time?
you gotta wear pads
Yeah.
and it's a whole thing. But
Yeah, you have to have the whole kit. But the cool thing about it was like most people wouldn't go there, and so the only people that were there were like really there to skate. And there's someone who like works the front, and like my mom was like, oh yeah, like you guys are safe in there. It was like daycare.
You're in a cage.
Yeah, you're in a cage. You're locked in, right?
Yeah, literally.
That's funny. And so you just would go there after school and just skate till it get dark?
Yeah, until they had lights. And it was like one of the first parks to get lights on this side.
Right.
And then at that point, it was so popular because it was like one of the few parks with lights, and there were sessions there. Like a bunch of people used to come and used to get crazy on like Friday nights. And at one point, they're like, "No trains," just because like people would like smash into each other.
Did they have like something from school, or was like skate class? Then you would go there.
Like, was it connected to school?
Yeah. Did they ever have that in Santa Monica? Because I know like San Diego, they have some park,
like
Del
skate
Mar.
PE.
Yeah, skate PE, and you can go to the skate park and.
You can have I forget what it's called, like off
Campus stuff.
Yeah, off campus PE or something. Like you could. There was surf club or something, or like some people that were in different sports outside of school, you could get like signed off for it if you had like a coach.
And so you just were skating there. Whoa, Raj.
What was that?
Boba straw. So you would just skate there, and that was your spot, right? Would you venture off into the streets at all?
I mean, I would skate to the skate park, and that was like the most like street I would get. But I knew the whole sidewalk, like from my house to the skate park.
You knew crack for crack.
Yeah. I found out
the hard way.
Yeah. Other than that, like after for the Cove, I feel like I just kind of got my taste for skating and like go there all the time and like just skate. And then I didn't start like getting like, I don't know.
Good.
Like I loved carving when I was at the Cove. And then once I started skating other parks, I was like, oh, I want to do tricks.
How would you you're 14, you go there. I mean, do you just start at the bottom and just kind of cruise around? Or do you go to the other one where you can kind of roll in to the bowls there? Or, I mean, how do you get started?
I mean, I started with my brother. And so like we were both like at zero. Like we didn't know how to stand on a skateboard. And then it was like you go to the bank and then you're like, looking at each other like, who's going to go down the bank first? And of course, like I'm the older sister, so in my head I'm like, I'm going to do it.
I'm going to do it. So you drop in on like the quarter pipes and stuff like that?
I mean, dropping in, like that takes some time. Like just, rolling in and doing all that stuff, we like figured out, and then eventually dropping in on the pool coping was like a task in itself. And that bowl there is kind of funky, like the shallow end. It doesn't flatten out. It's kind of like a double waterfall.
Were you watching like skate videos and stuff like that? So you're just kind of learning it on your own and kind of seeing what other people are doing there?
Yeah. I mean, there was a scene at our park. Like there was people that could skate, and I don't know, you would just watch people that could skate, or, you became friends with people at the park, and then eventually like, how can I do that?
Yep.
Like, hey, I want to do this. And some people just take their time and try to explain it to you.
Was there a time that you started to watch skate videos and no? Did you ever watch? You don't watch skate videos now?
Not really. I mean, I watched the Toy Machine video twice.
Right. Who had your favorite part in the Toy Machine video?
There's just one guy, Axel.
Oh, heard of him. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Heard you like a blunt transfer on something like that.
Something like that, yeah. That's funny. No skate. You're not a big skate video buff, really.
Magazines?
Instagram though, you go through your Instagram feed. It's got skating in it.
Yeah, I mean, I see it there.
Why not watch skate videos? Do you just because you just do it a lot, or is
I
it
just like being there in real life? I think like I'll watch skate videos of my friends. Like if my friend drops a part, I'll probably watch that. But outside of that, it's not the same as like being there.
Sure.
And I think luckily, like growing up where I grew up, like I was like in the mix of things, and
you saw
that's
it firsthand.
what made me understand it.
Right.
Whereas if I would have seen something like online, it's just, there's that screen in between you two, and
yeah, we're spoiled here. We get to see a lot of stuff in person. So you've never seen any of my video parts, Lizzie? How could you?
She's seen probably that one trick behind you.
Oh, now she's seen one trick. One trick.
I saw it before I was on the show. FYI.
So you're skating the Cove, 14 to for a couple years maybe, and then you ventured off.
And then I started skating combi, super mellow.
Super mellow. I bet that's where you saw a lot of these dudes, like legends.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. There was really a scene there, and then Pro Tech Pool Party was like the biggest bowl contest of the year, and eventually my local sponsor SMA, they're like, oh, do you want to do this contest? And I was like, sure, that sounds cool. And
Wait a
just
minute.
for fun.
So you got sponsored by SMA.
Yeah.
How old?
Probably was like 15 or
What is
16.
it? What, a year after you started skating, you got sponsored?
But the thing is, it was like I was just like the local little girl, like, you know, like really trying to skate. Mm-hmm. Or like maybe not even like really trying to skate. Like I just went there after school and like it was fun.
You were having fun, right?
And I like went there all the time.
But they must have saw something in you to want to sponsor you and pay for you to get in these contests.
I
Were you
guess
even
so.
ready for a contest?
I mean, who's ready for a
I don't know,
contest?
but I'm just like a year into
Nauseous.
skating, right?
I mean, once I was like, yeah, I'll do it. And then I was like trying to think of like tricks I could do, like get some more things. So I'd like actually have a run and
Okay.
like, I don't know, saying I was going to do a contest. I was like, okay, I want to like have something to show.
Sure.
And so I like practiced and I got better, and like meeting more people that skated that event and like being in the sessions, I was like, these people are awesome.
Right.
Like this is so cool. Like we're all just skating and everyone's trying their own things. I want to be here.
How'd you do?
I got 9th, which was really like,
Out
I was,
of...
I don't know, not out of 9. No, but
It sounds
I
like
was
a contest
stoked.
I would
I
enter.
made like
Last
$200
place.
or something, and I was like, that's crazy.
That was your first taste of money in skateboarding. $200 for 9th place.
I felt like boards were like a big deal when I first started getting boards, so
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
I was like that. I was like, oh my god, okay, I
Yeah.
have to really like do my thing or continue
Anything-
doing my thing.
Anything free at that age is cool.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely.
So now you're going to the combi pool skating with these guys. I mean, we're talking legends, you know. What do you remember the first like big pro that you met down there?
The thing
Or
is, I
became
didn't
friends
know
with?
who was pro and who was not.
Oh.
Like I was just like skating with people who ripped, and
Okay.
there's some people that rip and they're not professional.
True.
I remember meeting Dave Duncan.
Oh, yeah. How could you forget?
Yeah.
I remember I was like, you know, right before combi, like the event, like everyone just like goes to the contest a bunch. And I remember I was like right in the perfect corner spot, like where everyone wants to be.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone just snakes. But in there, it's like once someone goes, it's like
Yeah, you want to
you
get out of
don't
there.
jump, you don't
It's
go
their
in with
time.
them. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I was like waiting, and like I'd try to go, but then, you know, there's like other people that are just like, phew, just like straight in the bowl. And like I was taking forever probably. And then Dave just like fully just like, and like put his board in and then like went. And I was like, oh my God, like just what happened? And then afterwards he's like, oh, sorry, I'm Dave.
That's how you met. He
Yeah.
snaked you.
But he's really nice. And like,
Oh, he's great.
I was a little kid, like I deserve to be snaked to a
You know
certain
what?
degree.
That has to
like you
be-
have to go if you're
Right.
in that spot.
I can't. That's got to be intimidating. You know, it's different than, you know, you're skating one single object, right? And then, like you said, people are really, they want to get their shit.
And they have things they're doing. Like whereas I'm carving around and I'm like trying to get a few tricks, but like there's other people there that are like sessioning.
Yeah.
They're gonna win.
For a street skater, you know, you go to a skate park or whatever, you kind of have the whole park. You can, I can go over here. I'll go skate the manual pad, this ledge, this quarter pipe, whatever. But it's got to be a little intimidating to like really go for it, right?
Yeah.
Well, you got to fight for it, and then you're the only one skating in as well. So
Yeah.
all the eyes are on you at that same
That's
time as well.
insane.
Yeah, but I don't know. It was like I like skating bowls. Like once I found out like that was my thing, I was like, I'm happy to wait my turn.
Mm-hmm.
And like I wasn't thinking of it like, oh, I'm the only like girl here, or like sometimes like I wasn't the only girl. Like Alicia would be skating, or like
yeah.
someone else, and I don't know. Like it's not like us versus them.
And sometimes, and then you got to snake people too.
Yeah, but everyone snakes everyone. Like you watch, you know.
Yeah,
You see
right.
like the pecking order.
Oh yeah, pecking order. So you could kind of know like, oh, I went after him earlier, so it's kind of my turn.
It's like this person's taken 3 runs. Like I can probably go.
It could, right. Is there a time limit in the bowl? Just a normal? Are you like, okay, I'm kind of
I mean, you
doing
don't.
nothing here. Let me get up and have somebody else.
You don't
Hopping
want to
back
be
and
like
forth.
a marathon like person where you just like, even if you're doing tricks and you're in the bowl for like, you know, a 45-second run, like
Yeah.
you've been in there for a second. Like
It's-
that's a full
it's a
run.
long
Yeah,
time.
for sure.
Sure.
Especially if you're just sessioning. Like it's totally different.
It's either Pedro or Bucky or
Oh my God.
Gracie, something like that.
Jeez.
The worst though is like if you're just like carving or like 50-50ing everything. Like
Oh,
it's like
yeah.
okay, or doing the same run. Like if you just do the same run every time and it's like a minute and a half long run, it's like everyone knows what you're doing and you're not really progressing. You're just like kind of hogging the bowl.
Yeah. Right.
Like, you should go do this, like, at another time when a bunch of people aren't sessioning.
How would you get down there?
Back then, I would, like, catch a ride with people. So I'd catch a ride with Alicia, or even before that, I think I used to go with, like, Chris Russell, or there's this other little kid, or he's not a little kid anymore, but, like, a little kid from the Cove named Morgan Wolf, and
Okay.
just catch rides with whoever was around.
Gotcha.
And once I was able to drive, that was it.
Now, how did your parents feel about the whole skateboarding thing? Supportive?
My mom's the one who signed us up for the Cove.
Okay.
And, like, way before, my dad's the one who got us skateboards.
Okay. You and your brother.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the thing is, at that point, we, like, lived on a hill, and we just would buttboard down the hill. Like, we didn't, like, know how to stand up or
Right.
get around, or even know that you could just, like, do tricks on them.
Because you didn't watch videos. Yeah. So, the SMA thing, how long were you on SMA for?
Probably till about 2013 or 14.
And then what? Birdhouse.
Yeah.
How does that even come into the picture? Do you become friends with Tony Hawk, or does he see you, or what's it? To sponsor me videos? How do you get in that camp?
Pretty much, Grosso asked me, like, oh, what board company would you want to be on? And in my head, I'm like, I'm on a board company. I'm on
Right.
SMA. What do you mean? What board company would I want to be on? Like, at that time, there wasn't really other females on, like, core skate companies.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was, like, kind of hard to imagine. Like, in my head, I was like, okay, this is it. And I wasn't expecting any more.
Huh.
And when I thought about it, I was like, oh, like, who has a transition team? Like, Birdhouse.
I mean, the
And then-
Godfather, Tony.
I'd seen him skate before, but, like, I didn't know him personally.
Okay.
And I, like, reached out to a couple friends about it, and eventually something got through, and I got a call or a text, and they were going to send me boards. And then I, like, went on a couple of vert demos, and the rest is
Wow.
history.
How did you tell SMA? Were you just like, dude, I got this other offer, or I'm going to go try this out? It sucks to quit.
It did. SMA really felt like home. Like, it was,
They helped you out.
yeah. And, like, it's not like when I got on SMA, it's not like I really had dreamed of, like, ever leaving.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that I was doing it for the right reason, and that I had more room to grow on Birdhouse. And so it just kind of broke down to, like, saying, like, oh, it's that time, and, like, I hope you guys understand. Like, I feel like this is what I need to do.
Did they take it well?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
When you were a kid or when you started skating, did you think you wanted to be a pro skater?
I thought I wanted to be a surfer, and I, like, didn't even surf. Like, in my head, I was like, yeah, the beach. Like,
Santa
beach
Monica.
sounds great.
Here we are, right?
It was before Santa Monica. That's the, like, weird part.
In Simi Valley, surfing. Yeah.
Surfing's so hard, though. Like, I think I picked the right one
Yeah.
for me.
I think
I
so
think you
too.
did too.
That's working for you.
Surfing is not, like you said, it's not easy. It's hard.
They can't
You
see
gotta
ripping
have
out there.
upper body strength, and it's no joke.
Yeah, the ocean is, like,
Scary.
it can be, like,
It's a beast.
I'm terrified.
so, like, the water's so strong.
It's unpredictable too, for the most part.
And they surf, and, like, sometimes it's so shallow. Like,
coral
yeah.
down below. How does that even work?
Does Axel
Weird.
surf?
yeah, he's getting into surfing.
He looks like he surfs. He looks like he'd be good too.
So he looked like he surfed before he surfed. Like, he just got into surfing.
He had the hair for it.
I guess because he doesn't skate like he surfs, but he just he cruises when
Yeah.
he skates. So I can see that. That's
He
why.
looks really flowy when he skates.
Exactly.
And I think that's something that, you know, when you see surfing, it's very flowy. You know,
Yeah.
you're, like, one with nature, and you're just, like, out there ripping the waves. like-
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, so Birdhouse, right? They started flowing you boards. When did you actually get on the team? Was there a phone call or a contest?
When the welcome video dropped.
Were you filming like sponsor me
I-
tapes or anything like that, or just
No.
skating, just demos and contests?
Demos and contests.
How were you doing in the contest at this point in time?
Okay, so I started skating contests in 2009.
Okay.
Combi, got 9th place. Next year, I won Combi.
Jeez.
Or, okay, they gave us our own separate event. But women's
okay.
combi, I won it. And then,
First ever women's combi.
yeah.
Yeah.
And after that, like, there wasn't that many events around that time.
Mm-hmm.
But then, like, back in 2013, X Games brought Women's Park, and I won that event.
Barcelona.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like I said, like, around that time, there wasn't so many, like, contests.
Sure.
Like, they took it out next year.
Next year they took it out.
Yeah.
With the girls?
Yep.
Oh wow! But they let the guys.
Well, the thing is, they had contests all over the world, and then I was like, we're going back to one contest or whatever it was.
Weird. Well, you won 2.
There was more events in between, like littler events.
Gotcha. Right. But those are 2 big ones. Those are huge. And then were you already sponsored by Birdhouse when you were doing these contests when you won?
Not X Games and not Combi.
Okay.
But then the next year, 2014, is when I started getting boards and I was like going on trips. I want to say in 2015, like I went on that Europe trip with Birdhouse, and that was the first time I was like really in the van and on a trip with everyone and like hanging out with the team.
Okay.
And I was really nervous just because I didn't know any of them, and I was like, oh, I don't know if they'll like me, or like I don't know if I can like hang.
Right.
And we were doing vert demos, and then also they would just go out and film.
Okay.
And sometimes there'd be street demos. If there was, or there was definitely street demos.
I
skated one of the street the last one I skated the street demo and I like ollied like a 7-stair or something.
Yes.
And one of the times before I like fully was trying it and I just knee slid out.
Oh no.
It was so dumb.
On the street course.
Yeah.
You went to your natural reaction.
I just like went and I was like, I don't got it. Knee slide.
No pads.
No pads.
Oh.
I love that.
Jeez. Were you okay?
Yeah. And I like went back and I like did it.
You did it,
But
right.
I was like, I am not
Doing that
I'm
again.
not in that zone.
Right.
What was it like for you to start getting into filming? Because that's something it sounds like you never really did in growing up.
No.
So when did that come into play? When you turned pro, basically?
On that trip in Europe, basically like with the team all together and like everyone like got along so well.
Mm-hmm.
Tony was like, we have something, like we should make a video. Like I think like the time's right, and he's just like, this is gonna happen. And so we started filming for Saturdays. And also in the mix, I was like, Tony had talked to me and he's like, you should do your own part. This was before Saturdays.
Okay.
And so I was already working on a ride part, but then I had to backtrack.
Yeah,
so
please.
Tony asked me to do I should film a video part.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh, well, I'm down. We'll put it on ride. And we went to film for it, and I slammed and I tore my PCL and I was out.
PCL.
What's the PCL?
Yeah.
So it's in your knee. It's like, there's like the 3 main ones. But
MCL, ACL,
LCL.
LCL.
And then there's the PCL, which is like, it's from, I want to say your tibia to your like femur.
Okay.
So it kind of like stops your knee from like rocking back and forth.
Oh.
It's probably like the best one out of the 3
To
or 4
hurt.
you could break. And so I couldn't skate for like a couple months, and I was going to college. And I was trying to skate and do this, and then I got hurt, and my mom's like, okay, so you should be taking more classes. And like when I couldn't skate, I was like, I need to like just go to physical therapy and then focus on skating, because I can go back to college. I can't go back to skating.
That's
Yeah.
right.
And I'm trying to do both, but I'm kind of just doing poorly at both.
You
Like
gotta-
I couldn't multitask.
Right. And like you said, now's the time to do it. You know? You're not going to get a second chance 10 years, 13 years from now.
Yeah. And at that point, it was like my parents, they were like, oh, that's like, it doesn't really seem like the right idea to do. But I was like, I have to do, like, this is what I have to do. Like right now
You
is
knew
my
it.
time to try.
Right.
And, you know, if it doesn't work out, like I tried.
Sometimes you got to show the parents. This is what's up.
Well, she made the
Yeah.
Swedish Olympic team, so.
Finish.
Sorry.
Yeah.
The other Scandinavian country.
And we'll talk about that in a little bit, but no, it's interesting. And then even going on tours with Bird, how like your first European tour, were you I mean, you said you were nervous, you didn't know anybody, but also being a female out there surrounded by these, were you worried about like, oh, am I going to room with somebody, or how?
Tony
or did
was
they?
always really cool about like, I don't know, on the trip, like I would have my own room.
Yeah.
Like I was pretty much, I just like stay by myself the whole time.
And but doesn't that suck too in a weird way? Like you kind of want to be with the team, but at the same time, maybe you're an alone person. Maybe you you like that.
I mean, I could
just
hang
trying to-
out with them. Like they'd stay up all night and just like party, and you know,
then-
I could hang out as long as I want. And then when I'm like, okay, I'm tired, like I'm done, I'm over this, I can go back to my quiet room and not be disturbed.
Yeah.
Exactly. Wouldn't you want that too? You could party with all your homies
Yeah,
and
that
have your own
actually
place.
sounds really good. Because it always sucks when your room becomes the party room.
Yeah.
And you're like, dude, get the hell out of here. Like, I
It's
wanna go
hard to be
bed.
that person because everyone else is like, stop killing it.
Yeah.
We want to have fun. You don't
my
like
God.
fun?
Are you a fun person or are you more quiet homebody person?
We're having a tea party.
I know. I love it.
This is great.
Boba and mochi.
What exactly is boba?
It's made out of tapioca. So, like, you know, like tapioca pudding, like the
yeah.
thing that old people have,
Yeah.
is same stuff, pretty much.
They're good. I like them. Thank you for bringing them. It's
You're
amazing.
welcome. I'm
It
excited
is
to, like,
really
share
good.
it.
Yeah.
There's actually lavender in this. Like I see there's the flower in there.
Good for you, Ken.
Can you, like, you can feel the aroma,
I can
like,
feel- yeah.
in your mouth.
I mean, are you a go out and party girl or are you a stay at home girl?
I'm more stay at home.
Yeah.
But like if it's with the team, like I'm way more inclined to like go do that.
Sure.
Just because like all those dudes are so cool and like I really appreciate them.
Jaws is amazing. I mean, the whole team is
Yeah.
incredible. Did Jaws ever play you his little
Mouth
Mouth
harp?
harp?
He just plays it on his own.
Oh.
It's not like he like
Gathers everyone together.
I know.
guys.
right.
I'm gonna play my mouth harp.
Bring everybody down to the beach. Bonfire.
Yeah, he
What's
does
it
that.
like?
Sometimes he like is bleeding when he does it too, because
Oh,
it's
yeah.
just like a piece of
It's
metal.
aggressive.
Like
He's good at it.
Mm-hmm.
Really good. Do you like the mouth harp or could you do without it?
I like when he does it.
Okay.
Because he's so into it, like you can tell he like really loves it. And like anytime you're watching someone and they're just like they're doing their thing, like you can't be mad.
Any musical abilities? Do you play any instruments or?
I tried. I really tried.
Guitar?
Like growing up in school, like once there was like a music program or like whatever grade you get to, and then it's like, oh, there's these options.
Mm-hmm.
I was in that up until 11th grade, and
What happened?
I tried different things, and there was just like, you know, I was with flute for a while.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I'm gonna do trombone. I want to play Star Wars. Never mind. I don't want to do that. I'm gonna play percussion, and I really tried, but I couldn't like, just like the structured environment. Like it just didn't like help me. Like
Sure.
I wanted to, like if we were gonna play music and we were playing fun stuff, like I could probably get into it.
Okay.
But then playing it in like just band, like classically,
Not
it
your
wasn't
thing.
my style. Like it was
Right.
like it was dry.
I was good at the cymbals. Really good. You know?
Those are they're really like you can feel them when you're like holding them. It's like you can feel it in your chest.
And the kazoo. I play the kazoo.
Oh, I can see that for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
Really good.
That
at the
one
kazoo.
seems fun.
Yeah.
Can't like I feel like you can't be mad or like you can't take yourself too seriously if you're playing kazoo.
Or what's the
Very
whistle
true.
one where it's like the little slide
I
whistle?
don't know what that one's
I think it's a slide
called.
whistle.
The slide whistle, maybe. Yeah.
You can play
Those
that
are the
one?
instruments that I'm good at, I think. Yeah. I
Like
tried
right now?
guitar. I tried everything else. No, nothing.
You could do it right now if we
I'll
get.
probably do a slide whistle.
I think any one of us could.
Oh, my bad. Anyway.
Well, I was going to ask because we were talking about she got hurt,
Oh.
and then you were filming for your ride part. So
And
did-
then that kind of fell off the wagon. Then eventually I was just like I was filming a Thrasher part.
So it went to Thrasher.
Yeah, it was because before I was like, you should just do something, and then all of a sudden, like that opportunity came up, and I
Right.
filmed it with Schmitty, and he's awesome.
He's amazing.
And so I was just like super amped on the idea.
Sick. And how's your knee? I heard you could like you could move. You have a movable knee.
Yeah, so in tearing my PCL, my knee, like it can kind of like move in a weird way that most people's can't.
And is that?
Like go
That's making me nervous.
back and forth, or
yeah. Does
I can
that,
show you guys, but
No, I mean,
it's
maybe
like,
after the show.
Yeah.
you can-
Yeah,
That's like really unsettling. That's scary to me. Like not. I mean, not.
it's uncomfortable. It's unnerving, especially like if you're a skateboarder.
That's right. Yeah.
Because you're like, oh, I could see that happening
that's
to
not
me.
wrong. Like, that's
I
not
don't-
right.
I don't like watching Hall of Meats for that exact reason, because I don't want to see someone else slam in a way, and then I can like visualize myself doing the same thing, and it's not fun. It's just like it gives me anxiety.
I don't
Yeah.
like seeing anybody get hurt, whether it's a person, an animal, like anything, really. But the knee thing, I mean, does it bother you at all? Or do you
No,
even think about it anymore?
I mean, I went to physical therapy, and like you can compensate with just strength.
Yeah.
And so, unless I'm walking a lot, like maybe at the end of the day, I can feel that leg getting more sore than the other,
Interesting.
just because of like there's more play.
Right or left?
My right. So it's my
So
like
your
back blade.
Okay.
Did the doctor say anything in the future that you might need help with it? Like it might be like arthritis?
I don't remember, but I know like a lot of vert skaters have the same thing.
Oh, really?
So I'm not like in my own boat.
Okay.
I wonder if that's because of the knee sliding or
Yeah, or just like anytime you just like jam your knee super hard. Like most people that don't skate, they get it from car accidents and their knee going into the dashboard.
Oh, jeez.
Because that's the only time you really like have that hard of an impact, and it's
like
just straight
compression.
on.
Yeah.
That's kind of crazy. Actually, you're comparing yourself for skateboarding to getting in a car accident. That's what skateboarders go through. Yep.
God damn.
Every day.
And then filming for Saturdays must have been really fun because that major video part, by the way, great. The music went really well with it and everything. It was really put together well. I enjoyed that.
I didn't edit it, but
Jason Hernandez.
Jason Hernandez.
Yep.
Great dude.
he's awesome. That was the first probably 9 Club interview that I ever watched.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He's great. Were you happy with your part?
I was.
Okay.
The thing for that year is like I released the Thrasher part and I put like my time into that, and I was also doing the Saturdays video, like filming for it at the same time, and so you only really have so much time. And for me, just getting into like the filming mindset, it was so new. Like I was used to skating contests where it's like do your best for 15 minutes, and once I was like, okay, I'm gonna do a video part, I have a year or two to do my all-time best.
Sure.
I was like, I didn't know how to deal with like that pressure. And so in the beginning it was almost like it was hard to get myself to like just, go out there cuz
Well, you got the filmers, the photographers. Now you're bringing in other people on their time as well.
Exactly. And it's all up to you. Like you're basically like you're saying it before it's going to happen. And in a contest like you can pretty much like what you can do, and if you feel it you just throw it out there.
Yeah.
Sure.
And I guess it was just a different, like, shifting gears into getting my mind to just, like, just try. Just, like, you don't have to do it. Like, basically saying, like, you don't have to do anything, but you definitely, like, can.
Just be glad you didn't skate in the era of film and taking sequences and looking down at the photographer and seeing a mountain of film
They're
right
just
next
like,
to him.
we just spent $30 on you
Well,
on this
more.
session.
Like
Yeah.
300.
Yeah.
Really?
3,000 for me, though, because it took me a long time to learn
Yeah,
these
people would like
tricks.
burn through bricks of film.
Yeah.
It's insane.
I recently was talking to somebody, and they're talking about how, like, back in the day, they'd shoot film, and they had to have a backpack just full of film.
Yeah.
It's like, it's crazy to think about, like, you guys had to, like, lug around a backpack just for film, whereas now we're just like, oh yeah,
Here's
like-
the
Here's go in this
Yeah.
car.
we're good.
Oh, nowadays it's a filmer who has more gear than the photographer.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah, I've wasted a lot of people's films. It's okay though. Feel bad though. Talk about pressure. I get it. So when you were filming for that video, were tricks coming easy because of the pressure, or contests have to be pressure too?
I felt like growing up into contests, it all kind of happened in a slow amount of time where
Got used to it.
it seemed like not so bad.
Okay.
Whereas filming, it was like, okay, you're going to film, make a part.
Yeah, but you were skating a contest, you're skating contests and filming obviously it's a whole different style of skating almost. Did you start to look at videos to see what other people how they had put together a part?
No.
Or you're just like, okay, I'm just going to film this.
Well, because I'm not comparing myself to anyone else. It's like, what are my best tricks?
No, of course, but to see, how a part is like looks visually.
I just did it. I don't know.
Yeah, no,
I was
totally.
like, just do the thing.
I love that.
Yeah,
though.
it's awesome. I just, it's not even no offense at all, but like a lot of skaters grew up watching skate videos, so they kind of had an idea of what something looked like, and it sounds like you just had fun and did what you wanted to do.
And also in street
Yeah.
skating too, that's kind of the thing that you do. You go out and film with your buddies, and that's kind of it's sponsor me videos. That's how you kind of get into it, is filming with your friends. And
I didn't
now-
have that scene around me.
Right.
It was just
Yeah,
so
yeah.
different, like the era I grew up in. And
For sure.
luckily, I was around like a scene, and so I had a lot of influences. Whereas, like if you're watching all these videos, like that's a part of your influence.
Sure.
Yeah. So what's a big influence for you for skating, like even back then and now?
I feel like growing up in Santa Monica, there's like a big thing about like, oh, like transition skateboarding was here, like born here.
Yeah.
and like style is what matters. So there's a lot of people that are like, oh, if you don't have style, like, doesn't matter. Thinking now that I'm like where I'm at, I'm like, it's not all about style. It's about having fun.
Yeah.
And it's sick if you have style too. Like,
It's a bonus.
Yeah.
some people have it and some people don't. Like, it's not.
It's kind of like dancing. If you dance good, you can dance good. And if you're not good at dancing, then
You can still have fun.
you can still try. Yeah, it's all good.
There's
but
people that are just really technical, and like you can push yourself in that sense. Like, there's room for everybody, which is what's so cool about skateboarding.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But is there a certain thing that like gets you excited to skate, or is it just like
Friends.
music?
Definitely just like whoever I'm around, like just
Nice.
friends, and I don't know. Like, I guess pool skating is so cool because like a couple people just like session this one thing, and like they all just try different stuff, and like you'll try different stuff, and it's different than just skating like a mini ramp. Like pool coping, it has a certain sound to it. There's tiles, and climbing out of a pool. Like, the first times when I was doing that, I didn't have the strength for it. Like, I was the little kid that like had to like pull myself up and like try to like swing my leg over and then like roll up onto the deck, and it was exhausting.
Yeah.
Right. That'd be funny if you still did that. That'd be.
Okay, if you're like filming and you're really tired, there's times where it's just like, I could not. I just have to like lazy my way out and like roll out the bowl.
Pass me a broom handle so I can get up.
That's what you do the board, where you're just
the
like,
board.
pick me up.
Yeah. It's so funny because it's just such a different way that you grew up skating and like we grew up skating. You know, it's fascinating.
Yeah, we're all here together, which is
Yeah,
awesome. You know,
I love it.
Yeah.
So you were happy with Saturday's part. Who was forgive me, but I don't know who your famous person was.
So she's an artist. She like is a musician, and her name's Amanda Palmer. I actually brought her book.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
She like wrote this book, and it's super awesome. She's married to this writer, Neil Gaiman. She's a weirdo. Like, she does things her own way. She's like a part of Patreon. She does crowdfunding.
Oh, cool.
And basically she was one of the first musicians that like kind of broke away from her record label, crowdfunded her album, and then she got a bunch of shit for it. Like, people were like, oh, you're panhandling to like make your music. Boo.
Right.
But she's just like, I don't feel like I'm panhandling. Like, I'm cutting out the middleman and then going directly to
Consumer.
yeah,
Or
my fans, like the
supporters,
people
yeah.
that want my music, and they're happy to pay for it. They don't care if it's like part of their money's going to a record label or just straight to me.
Right.
What's the difference?
I know, right?
Exactly.
It's cooler that it's going straight to the artist, because then you know you're getting more, like, they're going to be able to do more things now.
Supporting them.
And it was in the time when like the internet was coming up, and like she was like really big on doing this mailing list and having like a big reach. And like nowadays we have Instagram, and we see like having a big reach means you can do a lot of things.
Get
Like, she's
leverage.
really good at Twitter. She's really good at like just communicating, and it's really cool like reading her story and like how she went about her stuff, and it gives her whole side to the outside of like, you know, people saying like, oh, you're panhandling music, when it's like, no, I'm in this weird situation, like I'm stuck with my label and they're holding me hostage, and I just want to make good music.
People don't know the behind the scenes.
No.
Yeah.
And so like the book was like her way of like putting her message out there, and I think it's snowballed her into like not just being a musician, but she does art of all kinds.
Wow.
Like, we're not like people in general, like just because they're like an artist or like a musician, that doesn't mean that's the only art they make. Like, creative people are creative people.
Yeah, exactly. And so did you know, you and Tony were walking down the street and here she is playing, did you know, was that a surprise?
No, so Tony knew that I was into Amanda Palmer's music.
Okay.
And like, we talked about her book, and I was like even surprised that he like really even like remembered
took
that.
note of it, yeah.
And basically he like set it up, and all of a sudden we're supposed to be going somewhere, and like he's trying to like time it right, and we're just walking down the street. He's like, yeah, let's get a coffee. And
you're
then
like, Tony's being weird right now.
it was in the morning, and so like a lot of things just go straight over my
You
head.
hadn't had your boba yet.
No, I had not. And pretty much we're just walking down the street, and then she's just there playing, and like Jason's like tucked in one of the little like in New York, like there's all these little spaces down to the basement.
Yeah.
And then like she starts playing, and then I just start crying. I was like, oh, this isn't real. This is crazy.
You just saw her and you
like,
knew exactly.
I knew it was her, and I just didn't know what to do. It was so weird to see her in real life, and like just everything in my brain just like went on overload.
It's so rad.
Now, do you like surprises? Because you got surprised with your pro board also. Do you like that type of stuff, or would you? I don't like surprises. I just like, I don't know.
It depends. Like, I don't know. It's all like timing and like how it goes down, you know? So like, I'm not bummed. Like, it was really cool to see all that just because I know, you know, they're doing it out of like, you know, they're just there to support you because they like what you do.
And you
like,
deserve it.
Yeah, I guess.
Wait, so what happened? How did you turn pro? They surprised you somehow?
Yeah, so just
It's like a backyard jam, right?
Yeah.
so I used to live at the Zoiner's house.
Oh,
and
that's
then
it. Okay.
Eventually, I basically moved a block away, and so I'd still go over to the ramp a bunch. And they told me they're gonna film Tony's intro, and they had like a bunch of people there that could make it on a Wednesday. Mm-hmm. And I was lagging on getting there, and of course Axel knew, and so he's at the house just like.
Let's go.
Like, he's not going to say, let's go to Tony's intro. It's like, it has to be me. Like, okay, we have to go. And I had just slammed really bad that week. I skated this backyard pool, and I went to do, like, an invert. Uh-huh. And I, like, locked my arm.
Oh, no.
And I, like, I don't know, like, almost like...
Hyperextended
You know how...
or something?
No, I didn't hyperextend it. But, like, you know how if you, like, flex a toothpick and then it'll just shoot across the room? Mm-hmm. So I, like, did that with my body. I, like, did that, and then I, like, flung myself headfirst to flat.
Oh,
and I caught the bottom of the transition, but I was okay. It's just, like, I was, like, I'm
You're
not...
terrified.
I was just done.
Yeah,
Wait, so you basically saved yourself from breaking your elbow? Is that what you're saying? Like you flung yourself to the flat bottom, or?
No, just naturally it happened. Like I went up for the invert with all my like speed and went like that, locked, and then like I couldn't unlock my wrist or my elbow, and then it just like my weight and everything. Like when I got out, it just like flung, and I went head first into the pool, and so like later on in the week, I'm like, oh, I'm pretty bad. I'm like kind of banged up from that slam, so. I'll get to Tony's like intro part stuff like in a bit. Like they start late anyway. Like there's no way all the dudes are gonna be on time. We're in San Diego.
Yeah, right.
So I like lag super hard to get there. Like Tony's wife is texting me. They're trying to like tell Bridget to like text me too so that I get there because they're just all like she's gonna show up at any minute. And
how late were you think?
An hour or two.
Oh, wow.
That's not bad, but they're excited too. They want it to go down. They know you're going to eventually show up, but you know,
they're
everybody's
expecting me to be on time probably because normally I'm very punctual.
Okay.
And in my head I was like, I'm useless for this thing, but I'm going to go there to show face.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
And I went there. I like biked over with Axel. I think there's like a photo in the photo booth, in the photo album I brought.
Oh, okay.
And showed up. Everyone's like, "Hey, Lizzie, hi."
All smiles and
and I did it like it all just went over my head. And then I skated, and like 3 for 3 runs. 2 of them I slammed, and then 1 I went off the ramp. Like I just.
What do
went
you
off.
mean? You flew out?
I
What are you
like went
doing?
to do something, and I was like on the like not so nice part of the ramp. Like it's kind of messed up. Like it's kinked.
Okay.
And then I just went off to the side.
Off the side.
Not off the top.
Yeah,
but
I was thinking you just kind of like just disappeared off the or at the back.
I hung up on a backside air. Like I was skating so bad.
You weren't supposed to be
At a
skating.
professional level?
I mean, I was professionally slamming.
So you had no idea. None of these things even computed that something's going on.
No, because it's Tony's intro, so I didn't like put much thought into it. I'm like, whatever, all these people are here. I'm not sure what he has in mind. He usually has these elaborate ideas and they just like unfold.
Right.
And so I like after the second slam, I was like, okay, I'm sitting down. And then his wife is like, Lizzie, come sit here. Yeah, so what's going on? Sorry. And I'm just sitting there just like, should probably go get some ice for my elbow. Oh. And then someone goes to get ice for me, and next thing you know, like, Grosso, like, feigns a slam, and then he, like, pulls out the mag, and I'm all like, what's going on? And, before that, Tony's, like, running up to him all like, Jeff, are you okay? Jeff, are you okay? And I'm like, he shouldn't be doing that. What is Tony doing? He should know better.
Like, Grosso doesn't like that.
Yeah.
Or just, right when someone slams, you don't run up to them.
You let him take their time.
Especially, like, Jeff. Like, if Jeff slams, you kind of just, like, let him have his piece. And,
Yeah.
I don't know, it's just, like, funny to see. And then he, like, has the mag. And then next thing you know, like, Tony's, like, pulling out a board. And I'm like, oh, my God. Like, I like when all these things happen, I don't know what to do. So, like...
Sensory overload.
Yeah.
Like...
If anything, I panic too. And then my mom comes out and I just start crying.
Oh, wow.
You didn't know your mom was there?
No, my mom and my brother and my stepdad. And so that was really cool. They're hiding in the bedroom, like, trying to make sure that they're not seen or, like, they don't give away the surprise.
Jeez.
So not only is the board, but the cover of Thrasher. It's amazing. That's an accomplishment.
Hell yeah.
It's crazy because the last cover that they had was, like, right before I was born or right after I was born.
What do you mean?
So, or for a female.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Who was that?
Jamie Reyes.
It's good company to be in. Jamie Reyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's awesome.
I just saw her in New
Backtails.
York, like, a week and a half ago.
She's great. She's such a great person.
She, like, got the cover of this mag and I got her autograph.
Did you really?
I did.
Sick.
What's it called? We were, like, in one, like, party at this, like, what's it called? This bar that, like, Tony's, like, a part owner in. And then they had, like, her party at the same time and they, like, rented out, like, that half. And so there was, like, two things going on and I, like, went out of the one to go find her. And I was like, can I get your autograph? And I got stuck there and I eventually made it back. And then Axel was like, where were you?
Did she know who you were?
Yeah.
Okay. Is that
She's
weird
cool.
to go get somebody's autograph? Like, did you feel weird? Are you an autograph person? Do you go up to,
I'm
like,
not,
celebrities?
but then I appreciate
Jamie Reyes,
what
don't get me
she's,
wrong.
like, just, like, the legacy.
Yeah.
And I'm not big, like, I don't know, I'm not too cool to, like, feel like, oh, I can't go up to her for an
Fan
autograph. Yeah.
Right.
Did
Like,
you get Amanda Palmer's?
I've actually, like, on her Patreon, there's this thing where I was like, oh, we're doing, like, cards for, like, everyone. Put in your email and you'll get a signed card. So I have got her autograph, just not in person.
Oh.
And we've, like, hung out and, like, it was, like, everything in my mind was exploding. And I'm like, ah. And she's really cool to talk to. And, like, it's just crazy because in high school, like, in 9th grade, my best friend and I used to listen to her music.
Huh.
And then it's, like, weird to, like, go down the road and eventually, like, I'm face to face with the person. And she's, like, in her stuff, she just, like, she says everything. Like, she's very, she
No
almost says
filter.
too much.
Mm-hmm.
And some people can't handle that, but I like the way she does it. And, like, it's really interesting to me. And she's gotten, like, the way she does it is, like, in her own way. Like, you over the years, you become a good writer if that's what, like, you're working on.
Yeah.
And it's just so weird. I'm like high school me is just like,
You want to hide under a rock?
I'm like, how are you here?
Well, how is it like
It's amazing,
now?
though.
And, like,
Kids
also,
are coming up to you. Skaters are coming up to you out going the same way.
Yeah, so you get it.
They're asking for your autograph, and they're probably like, "Oh my God, it's Lizzie." How does that make you feel?
Kelly asked for your autograph right when you walked in.
Yeah, thanks.
No,
if
didn't say hello.
anything, it's weird because I don't, like, I'm just doing this thing that I like doing, and I realize there's, like, amount of, like. I can hear it so much more that I can hear my voice. But it's definitely funny having people go up to you and, like, fan out.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't.
You're just doing something you love.
Yeah, I'm just doing my thing, and, like, I don't necessarily always feel cool, and I don't necessarily always feel, like, powerful, but there's times where I do. And so it's just, like, at the end of the day, like, hey, I'm just here, like, I'm stoked to be here too.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
Sure.
That's awesome.
But a lot of people look up to you, and they want to be around you. And does it get tiring, Like if you go to these events, are you the type of person that gets tired of talking to people and you need to go, or do you like that kind of stuff? Because myself, I get tired. I'm over it within 30 minutes. Not over the people, just over
Having the same conversation
having
over and over
to expel my energy into that?
It depends on the event. Like, there's events that are more entertaining than others, and the crowds that go to them, they're different. Each one's different. Mm-hmm. For the most part, like, when you know you're going to something like that, you kind of are mentally prepared.
Sure.
It's more when, I don't know, I guess you're not expecting to, and then you're in that mode all of a sudden.
But
Like,
it's
of
the
having
mode,
to
though.
talk.
It's the mode.
Not
You
that
almost turn it on.
Not that I become a different person or anything, but
You turn it on.
It's different, like, when I'm, like, at home on the couch and just, like, I don't know, just, like, being whatever, or just doing my thing. And then when I go to an event, there's times where it's like, okay, I need to remember to mention this. Mm-hmm. Or, I don't know, like, at a contest, it's like, you got to do your runs. Like, you're not taking, like, your warm-up run the whole day.
Right.
Yeah.
It's that. Like, going into a contest, you know what you're kind of preparing yourself to get into.
You turn on a different mode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beast mode.
Okay. I want to talk about the loop.
Getting loopy.
Mellow subject.
No, you don't watch videos, right? So you didn't go back and see these crazy slams that people were taking, or did you?
I specifically made a point to not look at all the slams.
But you've heard the stories.
Yeah, I mean, when you hear about the loop, you hear about the slams.
Yeah.
Like, you don't hear about, like, oh, this person made it. It's like, oh, you know the loop? Did you see that slam?
Yeah, that person got fucked up.
Brian Shaver.
Oof. There's been a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
I think somebody on YouTube even made a compilation of slams on the loop.
It's terrible. Like, the loop is so different because the risk factor is so high.
Sure.
There's not really... You just kind of have to,
it's either
to go.
There's no practicing
And don't
for it.
pump.
You guys found out. You guys don't pump.
That's what it is, right?
Honestly,
That's what Sean was saying.
I think street skaters would be better suited for doing the loop, even though it's like a transition thing.
Because they're not accustomed to...
With transition, you're constantly trying to pump up the wall. And
Yeah, like...
So it's just natural for you to automatically want to push through it.
Also, like, just the way, like, street skaters, like, they'll go and... Like, most transition skateboarders, like, they go to a park or... Like, even going to skate backyard pools, there's kind of a way you, like, work up into it and you get stuck in that. But it's, like, so different from everything else. You kind of just have to, like, learn a new thing.
Right.
And it's almost like, you know, you go to a spot, no one's hit it. Like, you just have to, like, do it.
Did Tony just say, hey, you should try the loop? Or, I mean, we're going to set this up. Do you want to come? Or what was the conversation to get you going to try it?
He'd brought it up in the past, like, hey, Lizzie, would you want to do the loop? And I was kind of like,
Hadn't thought about it.
that is not something that, like, do you want to do the loop? Like, that's not something that I'm like, I want to get food.
Like it never crossed your mind at all.
No.
Yeah.
And when he did, I was basically like, I'm down to, like, look at it if it's up, but I'm not going to commit to saying, like, oh, yeah, I want to do it. And he was kind of like, oh, well, you know, the people that do it, like, they know. And I'm like, I don't know. But
So was that scary for you then? If they made it for you? Was that...
the thing is, they had this event going. There was, like, a live stream, and there was announcing, there was a crowd, there was multiple people. It was crazy.
Which adds more pressure to it.
Yeah, and pretty much, like, they set it up the day before for practice, and then the next day they had the event. Mm-hmm. And during the event, it was, like, so fast, and there was so much going on that it was the worst situation you could be in for trying to learn something like that.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like you kind of need to be in the zone and, like, focused. And there was everything in there everything that was going on during that show was, like,
Too
could
much.
make you go everywhere. Like,
Yeah.
there was no way to really focus.
So the day before they had the practice. So you got to try the loop. Now, the first time, were you just standing up there? Were you watching other people and then just being like, okay, you know what? This like feel like the...
They were setting it up, and I was like, it's so much bigger and
huge,
crazy in real life. And seeing it firsthand it's unreal. And I made a point of saying, like, don't have an opinion on it, because I want to, like, get familiar with this thing before.
You want to get
like,
to
I have to at least go try it once before I can be like, I don't like that.
You want to get to know it first.
Yeah. And it's a really daunting thing to do, because they just set it up in the parking lot, and it's just, like, by itself, and it's tall and it doesn't make sense.
There's no people sessioning that thing at all.
You don't session it.
Yeah.
Like, did you see anyone do it before you did it?
Yeah. Is Tony jumping up and being like, okay, here's how you do it, guys. There was a
No. He was giving advice, but before I did it, or so during the show, like some people were like going, and then someone was like, okay, I'm ready. I'm gonna do it. And so at that point, everyone who felt like they were gonna do it, it was like, once they start taking out the pads, that's it. There's no, you can't put the pads back in for like the next person.
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
So pretty much it was Jeremy Green. He's like, I'm ready. And he like sped up like Sean Hale and Riley and Charlie Blair. They're all just like, oh, okay. Like, you're ready. I guess we have to be ready too.
Wow.
And
were you ready?
Well, I was in the line where I was just like, I was still not sticking to the wall. So I was like, okay, I don't got it. Like, there's no, unless I figure out the technique. Right now, I'm just kind of like jumping, going down the ramp and going into a foam pit.
Yeah.
And that in itself, like the first time I did that, that was so scary because there's nothing like going straight. Like, you just have to follow the line, which is so simple, but goes against everything skateboarding has ever taught you before.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Like, usually you go up and you find your exit.
Yeah.
Or like you go up and you go back down. And this one, you're just waiting for your exit.
So when you had the pads there, did you figure it out during the pads what you needed to do?
Yeah, so later. So they're doing this live event. And Charlie Blair did it, but Jeremy Green was the first person to do it. And right before he did it, he went all the way up and around and then went back into the entrance. And he like smashed his face and cracked his teeth.
No.
And like he was like bleeding, and then like I'm over there behind, like in line for the thing still, and he's just like, oh, I smashed my teeth, look. And I'm like, please don't show me that right now. Like, I'm trying to be serious and you're showing me your bloody face. And
oh my God.
Pretty much when I was there, I would only listen to the people who really like had the technique. And in my head I was like, that's the only way, like that's the only outcome. Like, you just figure that out, and then that's what you do.
Mm-hmm. Sounds to me like you really had to be focused. Like, you really had to, like, pay attention to what you were doing. Like, no half-assing it.
Yeah, and I was only really paying attention to the people there that, like, had, like, good energy. Like, I was pretty much, like, I was hanging out with Sean and Aaron, and, like, I'm really close with them, and, like, in my head, that's all who was existing.
Okay.
And then, like, Jeremy would try to butt in and be like, look at my teeth. And I was just like, you're not here.
Blocking them out.
Like, please don't show me that.
So there was no...
To get back to your thing, the loop is something where it kind of goes against everything you've learned about skateboarding. And it's kind of like your first drop-in. Like, at that point, you've never done anything where you have to, like, really commit like that. And, you lean forward, but not too far forward. And you have to, like, lean back, but not too far back. And people can tell you that, but until you do it, you don't know what that means. Mm-hmm. And the loop is literally the same advice. It's like, don't pump. And, like, you lean forward, but not too far forward. And you lean back, but not too far back. And follow the line.
Yeah, when Sean Hale was here, he was saying the same thing. He was telling you, like, don't pump. And then finally you did one, and you came back up, and you were like... don't pump. And he was like, I told you.
It's like I said, until you do it, you don't know what that means.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I was just going to say, what does that feel like then when you don't pump? Do you just like ride straight up and just let it go?
You just lock your legs. Like, imagine you're like an army figure, the plastic ones.
Yeah.
Like
G.I. Joe.
Yeah, they're not, there's
Green
no
Army
pump
man.
in that. You just, you think about the Hot Wheels loop, there's no suspension on the cars.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
It's the same thing. But it's weird to make yourself do that because, normally you go up transition and you can do a little pump and it doesn't hurt, but there it will hurt.
Yeah. Right. Now, when they took you're doing the loop, you're crashing into the crash pads, right? When they take that away, now that probably is a whole different mind. Now you're like, okay, there's no safety net.
No, because it wasn't until I stuck to the wall when it was like, okay, like you have a shot at this now. Are you going to do it? So at that point was when I was like, this is real and I have to make the decision now. Otherwise I need to stop because at some point it's going to get to that point where they take out the pads and you can't.
You can't not be ready.
Yeah, you have to commit before that.
Yeah.
So in my mind.
So the first time you stuck, you were like, okay, now I get it. you could take away those pads.
Yeah, or not right away, but it was like, okay, am I going to do this? I'm going to do this, or I'm going to slam really hard. I'm okay with that. Let's keep going.
Okay. The first time, even with the pads.
But you can get wrecked with the pads.
I know, but I'm
like there's videos of people like
terrifying.
looping out with the pads, and it's not fun with all that momentum going into the pads. Like every time, like you go into them, it's softer than the concrete, but you have all that momentum and you just stop.
Yeah. Well, we were watching Felipe Nunez, right? By the way, congratulations, great addition to Birdhouse. The guy
sick.
rips.
Yeah.
It's insane. But when he was doing he would be doing the loop and then crash pad, just abruptly stopping.
Yeah.
So it's got to be a little,
That
jarring.
wears you.
Jarring, yeah.
Like you have to make it through the whole day after all those like stops.
Sure.
And it works your body because you get like twisted and weird, and then sometimes your board's like coming like in after you to like spear you. Like it's not fun.
There was a photo I saw of you. It was like you're at the peak, you're just upside down and completely off your board, like just about to go down. I don't know what happened. I just saw the photo, but I'm like, this is insane.
So that was the first time I went around the loop without the pads.
That was without?
I just buckled, and I don't know, like every time. Okay, so pretty much when it got to the point where they're taking out the pads, I was just like up on the top of the roll-in with Aaron, and it was like same as before, and I was like pretty much just went, and then something happened, and I like fully bailed, and I went all the way around, and then I bailed just before the top, and then I made it all the way to like here. And I just knee slid out of that somehow, and it wasn't easy. Like it wasn't like a mellow fall, but it was so mellow in comparison to what it could have been.
Yeah.
And then the next time I just was like went back up to the roll and was like same as before, and then just went, and I was really close. Like I think that was the one where it's like I made it out, and then I fell like right after, and I was like, everyone ran up to me like, you did it, because I went around the loop and then I fell.
Okay.
I just didn't like have the roll away, and so I was like, kinda. Did that count?
No. What was it? Did you zing out or just fall off your board?
So I made it all the way around, and then like I like leaned back or something on flat.
Oh, okay.
Like
Gotcha.
just like maybe like 3 or 4 feet after.
I see.
And I was like, did I do it? And then they're like, oh, do you want to do it again? I'm like, yeah, like I need to do it for real.
Yeah,
Like I
you
didn't
roll
do
with
it. I didn't roll away. Yeah.
The whole point of doing it is like the whole clip's like you have
You're just like,
everything.
you're like, yeah, that was good enough for me.
You want the clip of like Tony chasing after you.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you want to do it for like if you're that invested in something like that, you do it for real.
You've already taken your time, and you were invested.
Yeah. And pretty much went back up there, and it took me like it was 5 or 6 tries before I did it.
Without
and
the
like
pads.
just like made it all the way through. So like no pads and just going.
Okay. Lizzie.
How did that feel when you rode away?
I know.
It was crazy because it was just like I was so deep in tunnel vision that like in my head I was just like do the thing, and I was so focused, and then I'm like halfway across the parking lot, I'm like, oh, I did
blacked
it.
out.
Like like you almost blacked out.
Yeah, but it was like I was so focused
Surreal.
because I tuned every like in my head I was like, this is it. Like I'm so focused, and like you can't really let anything get in between that, because the second you go down the top of the roll-in, you're committed to getting out.
Right.
Because you can't really stop before you hit the roll-in, because that's how you get ruined.
Yeah.
And like even for practicing with the pads, like that's a big commitment. Like it's easy to go in the roll and be like, oh, not this one, I want to bail.
Oh my God,
but there's nowhere to go.
Yeah.
The first drop in must be terrifying.
What-
Shane Hale said that you're the reason why. I'm sorry, Sean. You're the reason why he didn't do the loop. You took him on a massive bike ride up a hill, and his legs were done.
He can claim that. I mean, okay, so Aaron and him stayed at my house, and yeah, we biked around Oceanside, and then at the end of the bike ride, there's this hill. It's like you could walk up it in like 5 minutes.
Oh, that's it.
Pretty much him and Aaron went ham on it, and like I walked the bike. I was like, I'm good, and then right after we like went to Tony's.
Right. That's what he said. No, he didn't say it was your fault, but I just thought it was funny that you guys took him on a...
Probably, like, it took his legs a bit, but no one forced him to go up the hill. Like, I walked up the hill.
No, he said he looked behind him and everybody was gone. And then
Everyone's walking?
Yeah, everybody walked up.
Because there's no point. Like, it's not... It doesn't make sense to do that to yourself, especially if you're going to go skate later.
Having done the loop now, if they set the loop back up, would you go do it again?
Not if there wasn't like a reason to do it.
Oh, just
like,
for fun.
I wouldn't do it for fun. The risk factor is too high.
Even though you know now what to do. Like you've done it once, you know.
It's not something you session for fun. It's like
Bob Burnquist does. Seems like he does.
Yeah, but
going to get coffee.
Yeah, but he was like doing it switch. He was there was
Bob may be an exception to the rule.
Yeah, doing new things with the loop. But I understand what you're saying. Just to do that for no reason, you can, even if you know what you're doing, you could still get messed up.
It's like if you imagine like whatever your ultimate trick is. It's like, now go do that again for fun.
Sure.
Like, I mean, there's a point to doing it, but then if it's like a giant gap or like, imagine if you're like jumping down stuff, your legs only have so many goes.
Mm-hmm. Even a technical trick too, you work on these tricks for 6 hours, you do it for a video, you're never going to do that trick again.
It's not like your warm-up trick. It's not like something there's tricks that are not contest tricks.
I do a lot of 360 flips. My favorite trick, broke my ankle on a 360 flip. Happens.
Yeah.
So, but the loop is
double loop.
Yeah,
they do a double loop.
Oh my god!
Roller coaster.
It's like corkscrew.
Did they do that? Have they done it where they go one and then two, like build two right back to back?
They have it.
I don't know.
Corkscrew. It's a new thing, Lizzie. Corkscrews.
I'm not trying to prove anything
You're not going
to anybody.
no corkscrews.
I'm just.
What about the loop that like Evan Mock does?
That thing looks cool. It's funny. After I did the loop, Axel wasn't home, so like he's just like, be safe. He like was on a trip in Hawaii, and I think he did the loop there.
That one, the same one. Wow.
And it was like really funny because
the smaller one, the concrete one. Yeah.
But I think he could do the loop. Like he was down.
How many people have done the loop? It's like a handful, right? 20 something people.
It's like about 24.
24.
Yeah.
Which is not a lot. Like it's been around for a second. I know it's hard to get to. Like you have to have an in, but
that's some good company to be in.
Maybe you guys could do tandem, like same time.
No, I'm good.
It's a new King of the Road challenge. Handcuffs. I want to talk about the loop. Congratulations. That's amazing. I would not even attempt that. Roger said he would try it.
I'd try
but,
it.
With the pads, you said.
Well, yeah,
you
of
have
course.
to put the pads on first. Yeah, I think I go straight to it.
Dude, that's so scary.
Yeah, me and Kelly would be spectating.
Yeah.
But I want to talk.
It's just a launch ramp, into pads at first.
Yeah.
And it's, I don't know, like they have the same stuff at Woodward pretty much. Like launching into the flybucks is probably you can get just as wrecked on that with all the pads.
Something about just dropping in and looking at a wall that you're supposed to go up is kind of terrifying.
You're talking to two dudes that skate manual pads.
I know.
Like so that stuff is not like our language.
Yeah, I ride 50 millimeter wheels.
I guess growing up skating like bowls and stuff, there's cradles and it's not anything like the loop, but going upside down, it's not weird. Like I like doing inverts and stuff like that.
Sure,
so
right.
That part, it's not weird. Like
I know. I'm trying to remember the last time.
Honestly, the loop sometimes it like the way it feels
upside down.
The way it feels like skating the loop, sometimes it feels like a weird bowl corner.
I get that for sure. I haven't even done a handstand lately. I don't even know. Anyway, let's talk about Vans because I love this. The Vans. When did you get on Vans? Were you on Birdhouse already and then got on Vans, or vice versa?
I think I got on Vans before Birdhouse.
Oh, okay.
But around the same time, like everything was more like solidified.
Mm-hmm.
In 2014, I got a manager, and then he helped me solidify like all my sponsors and like I was getting paid to go skate.
Gotcha. Okay. So the manager changed the game for you.
Yeah. And I know that's not for everyone. Like, I don't think everyone needs a manager. It's just like for like my situation before I had my job didn't exist.
Yeah.
At the same time, too, a lot of skaters have managers. They have managers, agents, like it's a thing now, right? Mm-hmm. So it definitely helps people navigate stuff that a normal skater couldn't navigate himself. So it's definitely a big help,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't know contract lingo.
Exactly.
Like, I can read it, but I don't know all the
A lot of
legalities
skaters
to that,
will just sign on the dot and not even know what they signed.
which is scary.
It's horrible.
Because sometimes you sign things that are contradicting. Like they can easily just because of the way it's phrased, they can just break your contract.
One word.
That's not cool.
They could have one word in there that could change the whole thing for you. So it's you gotta have people look at that stuff for you. So
I wanted to ask something.
Anytime we can cut your pay.
You
sneezed.
You just said you were like, yeah, before my job was a job. Did you mean that before because of the women's skateboarding there wasn't something there yet for it, and then you're kind of now there is?
Yeah, I mean before I was skating, getting paid to do it, by my sponsors, I want to say there's definitely less than 5 girls that were getting paid just to skate.
Yeah.
So many people, they have a degree or they have a job, and that's their bread and butter.
Yeah. So now that's all you do is you just skate, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. What was the point in time where you realized that's what you want to do and that was possible?
When I got hurt and tore my PCL.
Yeah. But
because I couldn't skate, and I was I really like this, and this is my only shot.
that was a fork in the road where you're like, I could go this way or I can go that way.
But like you said though, there wasn't a lot of people doing it at that time. So was it hard to imagine yourself doing it? Does that make sense?
I get what you're saying, and because men were, I don't know, because I was skating and I was skating with dudes and they made a living. In my head, it was why can't I do the same?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I do my best and I push myself, and why can't I
totally
have the same things? I know, marketing wise and all that stuff, it's a whole different world.
Yeah.
So I didn't see that part of the picture, but that's why I got a manager, and he could navigate that portion for me.
So do you think when you got the manager is really when it started to happen for you?
Absolutely.
That's awesome. Yeah.
It's hard finding a good manager. You have to find someone who's going to have your best interest in mind and not
After the money.
getting a paycheck.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's they want you to do more stuff so they get paid more, which maybe they're going to sign you up for stuff you don't want to do.
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't really I'll get offers to do things, but if it's not something I want to do, it's just an automatic no.
Right.
And
Yeah.
And
my
he's not
manager's
forcing you.
happy
Right.
to do that. And it's hard to find someone that's going to understand you and your trajectory.
Because they essentially work off commission, right? They get you a job, they get a percentage of it. So, yeah, a lot of managers probably want you to do everything.
Well, it's cool.
He has to be invested in what I'm doing.
Sure.
Yeah.
You don't just spend that much time and energy negotiating and searching out all this stuff for, something that's just I just do this to make money.
It's a long-term hustle, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, I need a manager. Give me his number after
have
the
one?
show. We need to.
Who is your
I need
manager?
to line some stuff up.
His name's Carl.
Carl.
and-
Okay.
He works for IMG.
Oh.
He used to work for Tony. He organized Boom Boom Huck Jam.
Okay.
So
Rad.
he's familiar with skateboarding. He grew up skateboarding. The first question I asked him was, who is his favorite skateboarder? And
What did he say?
automatically
Tony
we got along.
Well, who's his favorite skater?
I'm spacing right now.
But that's cool though, because he knows you and what you like and can get you the right things that you want.
Yeah.
He's got to get
great.
somebody who gets it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really hard, especially when you find just a manager who does managing and they don't understand skateboarding, because the skateboarding industry is so different than, let's say, the
Entertainment.
movie industry
Yeah.
where they all have managers.
Fascinating. I love it.
That's awesome.
So the Vans thing, really good stuff. You've had a lot of different, what are they, colorways or
Collections
customs?
and
Yeah,
colorways.
yeah. The latest one was the slip-on and the pant, right? No, was that not the latest
The
one?
latest one was the Era, the pink
The
and black
Era.
one.
Okay. And also too, you had the first women's pants collection that came out
With
for 'em.
Vans.
With Vans, right? How does that work? Do you design the pant the way that you like it, or how does that process work?
I just had feedback with this company that was doing the fits and trying to work out the kinks and how the pants were supposed to be.
Because isn't it an existing pant and they changed it, or was it a whole new pant?
Whole new pant.
Whole new pant. Okay. So they give you samples and you try them out, or how
Pretty
how does
much. It's just
how
like
does
wear
designing
testing.
a pant work?
You kind of go by, this is what I'm wearing now, and I don't like this about it. I like this. How can we switch this? Or I have this idea. It's kind of just that. Like, this feels right and this doesn't.
Do you give them samples of pants that you like?
Yeah, so I'll send them, like, pants where I like the texture or, like, the thickness or maybe the cut.
You obviously like the pants. Do you get them back? Or do they cut them open?
The thing is, with some of the pants, it's like I'll get them, I'll buy them, and then they just reimburse me so that they, like, just...
So you buy like a second pair?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
But I'm always now, I go into stores and I'll just like touch all the fabrics and feel like how they feel or try things on for fit and like notice like little things. Like even like the belt loops on the pants, they like changed them so that they'd like hold the pants up better.
How do you change a belt? Like make it thicker or high? Like what is it?
Position.
Changing a belt loop.
Positioning of the...
Yeah, what's it?
They made them thinner, which I'm not sure why, but it works.
Okay.
And thicker or like wider. And that like keeps them more secure because if you have like the really thin ones, sometimes it just like
bunches up a little
holds
bit.
the pants up and then the actual pant like you can kind of see in between all the loops like it's just pulling down.
Yeah.
Right. You don't want that. Do you wear shoelace for a belt or just a normal belt?
It's not always a good look. Like sometimes like you see people and then it looks like you're wearing a thong.
Yep.
It's true.
So it's just like not the most flattering thing. I do like belt, like a proper belt.
Proper belt.
I wear it on the side because sometimes the metals like irritate my skin.
Like leather belt, stretchy belt, or the old school like clamp belt where you just clamp
Boy
it
Scout?
down. Yeah, like
The old school one.
Old
That's
schools.
lately what I'm into.
Okay.
But I don't know. That changes and like it's easy to switch. Like sometimes I'll find a new one and just run it.
You know what the Vans did really well in like the authentic chino is they put the shoelace inside.
Yeah, I
Like
was
instead of like
noticing
having it on
that.
the outside, most people do.
Yeah.
So then like the whole thong thing doesn't even have an issue.
I like the pants you're talking about. Just like the shoelace portion of them.
Yeah, that's super
it works
sick.
really good and
Yeah.
it looks more flattering when you wear it because sometimes you get like for me. Not that I have like crazy huge thighs, but like just from skating, for my body size, my thighs are more pronounced. And if I wear like a normal, like the men's chino pant, it doesn't fit. Like my thighs, like it's just too tight. Because the waist, I want it to fit around my waist and like just the proportioning's all different. So the wider pant with the thinner waist, it's like, it works good.
It's a good skate pant. And they have
Interesting.
the inside of it, it's like all like, what is it?
It's like
satin.
slippery.
Silk.
Yeah,
it's like it's like satin.
Yeah.
It's comfortable, dude. It's pretty rad.
Are you into fashion? Do you like all the fashion stuff, or you just go with the flow?
I would say I'm into fashion, but I feel like it sucks to say, but as like a female, it's like that means like you're really into trends, which I'm not into trends. I'm into what feels right for me.
Right. Because skating too, you have to wear what is comfortable to skate in.
Functional.
Sure. Functional.
I don't know, like I'll find things that are in colors I like, or like I like this fit, or this feels good and this doesn't.
This one actually has normal pockets.
Yeah,
That's a
so
huge thing for
on
girls. Yeah.
pants, the
Phones-
pockets are this big.
Why? What did it? They can't even fit their phone in there.
I think for fashion, like
Just
girls don't like. Sometimes the pants pockets will bunch, and so like maybe that
Not a
doesn't
good
look
look.
that good. But like when I'm skating and my phone is falling out of my pocket, that doesn't feel good, and it doesn't look good.
I noticed the hair. You're all natural right now. What happened? You don't have any funky colors or anything going on?
No, last year I cut off the like rest of the color.
Oh yeah?
Yeah,
Why?
just to refresh. Like that
Just a
part of my hair
reset?
was like fried.
Oh, seriously?
When you bleach your hair, it just like it's so bad, and it's a lot more work, and it's really fun when it's like working, but once your hair's like just dead, you just need to like refresh. But I think I'm gonna cut my hair soon.
Are you?
I just cut Axel's hair actually. Like
His hair look good. You know, I cut my own hair.
Really?
Yeah, I do it myself. I
That's
wear a
awesome.
hat. You can't really see it, but I do.
I think it's fun. Like it's really satisfying.
Is it?
I'm not ready to cut my own hair just because like I can't see in the back of my head.
That's the hardest part.
But I want to cut it and I want to like donate my hair because it's long enough.
It's amazing.
And I think if I have it short, I can like consider bleaching it again just because when you bleach like longer hair, it's like it fries it more. Or,
Oh, gotcha.
I don't know if it fries it more, but it's just,
Becomes super frizzy.
it's worse.
It damages it, right?
Yeah, it's really bad.
What would you cut? Like, would you get like a bob or something?
I think I want to.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
I know it'd be super different, but then, like I said, then I can consider like dyeing it again. And I miss I miss having like fun colors.
And too, it'll probably be easier to skate with.
I don't know.
Because long hair, you got to put it up in a ponytail or something.
You
or
get
what
used
do you
to
do?
it.
Yeah, you shove it up in the helmet.
No, I just put it in a ponytail, or I just wear it down. And you know, with a helmet, it like, kind of keeps it in in place.
Oh.
It's when I'm not wearing a helmet. Sometimes like my hair literally goes in front of my face, and like sometimes I'm like, okay, I'm gonna land this trick blind.
You just have to. Yeah, you got to go with it.
Yeah.
Skate by feel. What color? Next color op? What is it going to be?
I don't know. I have like
You've gone through the whole rainbow.
I have a couple
seems
things
like.
on my Pinterest board.
Oh, you got a Pinterest board?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, is this just hair colors, or is this a Pinterest board of just like a mood board, or like something or an inspiration board?
I have many.
You
I
have
like
multiple
Pinterest. So
boards.
I feel like Pinterest is the new Tumblr. Like Tumblr got blown out, and I used to love Tumblr.
Okay.
Like that was
your shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it used to be like, I think at the time it worked. It was in its prime, and now it's gotten phased out. And yeah, I guess Pinterest is like the new Tumblr, like I said. And I'll do like just a bunch of different boards for miscellaneous things, like my Vans collections. I'll go on there for inspo, or like I said, for hair, home DIY stuff.
Okay.
I have one for just like graphics. Like it's really convenient because I can make that, and then I can like go to whatever artist and say like, I'm into these things.
Share
like
the
let
board
me
with
know
them.
like if you're feeling any of them, or like if we can bounce off any ideas. Because that's kind of hard to like talk about like, you know, abstractly, like, oh, let's do a graphic like this in this style.
I got to get into that.
How does that even really work? I'm not.
You go through the internet and there's all the, you could pin stuff. You have an account with Pinterest and you could.
It's like, okay, so you know, like Instagram, you go through the feed, and you know how on
You could save them.
the explore page, there's a bunch of miscellaneous stuff. So it's all tailored to you.
Yeah.
You can pick like your interests, and then let's say you wanna find a cool yellow shirt, or like, like, I don't know, you just type in yellow shirt and then all these ones pop up of like models and stuff like that. And sometimes they have like the clothing brand it's like linked to, or like you want to find a home DIY project, or I don't know, a graphic.
Yeah.
Just you can look at like tattoos. There's so many things.
And then you go and save them. So you have your boards.
Yeah, but it's just like Instagram, how you can like look up hashtags.
Yeah.
But it's better.
Like bookmarking things.
So, but when people look at you have a page, and people look at your page, and that's like what it is. I don't understand.
You could probably have a public page, huh?
You don't go and see profiles. It's more about seeing the actual images.
Oh, okay.
So you can, there's good recipes on there too.
Oh, good
So-
mochi.
If you have a blog, you can
Cupcake
like,
recipe.
put
Butter
it on
mochi?
Pinterest and say like, hey guys, here's my whatever recipe, check it out.
Interesting.
Or like, okay, so for like
Should we
the
film it for
hair,
Nightclub?
Not a big Pinterest.
what's it called? The hair Pinterest board I have. I showed Axel, and then he was looking through it, and then he like looked on a photo, and he's like, I know this person. I just did a shoot with her, like for Volcom.
Oh, really?
And then he's like, yeah, he like pulled it up on his Instagram and is like, yeah, look, it's her. Look, this is the same photo from her Instagram.
Weird.
Oh, whoa.
So what's at the top of the Pinterest board for the hair color? Do you want to divulge that
I feel like the
information?
blue is so like easy to go to, like either blue or purple, like something pastel.
I could tell it makes you
Or-
happy talking about hair. You love it, huh?
It's fun.
Yeah.
It changes up everything. Like, I feel like since my hair hasn't been dyed, I look at clothes differently. Because, like, it's your whole, like, it changes your
Yeah.
whole look.
Sure.
And, I don't know, it's just fun.
Yeah.
And I notice that, like, when I'm looking on Instagram and I'm following someone with colored hair, like, I'm drawn to it. Just because it's like they could be doing something normal, and then I'm like, oh, their hair looks good today. I want to do that.
So like a blue, or what'd you say, a pastel blue or something?
There's some like funky ones. Like there's like a really cool orange, but I just don't know if that'd look good with my skin tone because I'm like really tan, and maybe it'd like just make me like look Oompa Loompa-esque or something. Silver would be super
Especially
fun.
with the bob.
But then it's really hard to get to silver because it's like the lightest your hair could go.
Oh.
Does it make
Especially
you
if you
look
have dark
old?
hair. I think it make me look like Storm, like kind of like wise, but like young. I don't know. Not wise, but you know.
What is next for Lizzie Armanto? What do we got going on? You gonna do new video parts? I know we have the Olympics coming up in 2020. Finland.
That's
Why Finland? Why, you grew up here. Why go? I know your dad's Finnish, right?
He still lives there. Like,
does,
my
does
whole
he?
dad's side is living in Finland.
You have dual citizenship.
Yeah, I was born with it.
You could go. Do you still go out there a lot to visit?
It's expensive to go out there. It's
Sure.
far. And like,
get vans to pay for it.
yeah, super mellow. Like, hold on, please send me to Finland where it's all snowy and I can barely skate.
Yeah.
It's only good during the summer, really, for outdoor parks. And
Okay.
they have some amazing stuff there. Like, they have a cool skateboard culture.
Sick. I've never
They have a
been
lot
there.
of DIY stuff.
I love that. Yeah.
I was like really surprised.
So
But-
why did you go with that? What was your thinking? What was
I
your
mean, for the
rationale?
Olympics, I feel like it's crazy. One, it's crazy skateboarding's going to the Olympics.
First of all, let me
like-
ask you a question. Are you in the Olympics? Have they selected? Because I know you
You
don't-
qualify.
Yes. So are you qualified? Are you going to be on
You
the
have
team?
to have a certain amount of points.
Okay.
And they take the top 20 and the top 3 from each country. And 5 continents have to be represented.
So there's only going to be 20 people in the Olympics for skating? Is that what you just
Yeah.
said? So 20 people
For each discipline.
Yeah.
each discipline.
So
Okay.
for park, there's 20 women. For park, there's 20 men. For
Okay.
street, there's 20 men. For street, there's 20 women.
Gotcha. So what was your thinking behind that?
So, like I said, for skateboarding to be going to Olympics, that's crazy.
Nuts.
And it's going to be broadcast to like such a big amount of people that aren't into skating. And I think it's important that like for skateboarding to be kind of like, I want to say debuted, but it's
Yeah.
not like skateboarding didn't exist before the Olympics. Like it has its own culture. There's professionals in the industry. Like skateboarding would continue without the Olympics.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
But I don't know, just like the quota system really bummed me out because it just means that the world's best skateboarders aren't all going to make it to the Olympics.
Interesting. Okay.
And so like for me, I was like, oh, I have this opportunity to do this, like go for Finland. And I feel like as a skateboarder, like I don't look at my friends as where they're from. Like, oh, they're like looking at Axel, it's like, oh, he's a Belgian skateboarder. So like I count as skateboarding differently than I do all my American friends.
Sure.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, of
Yeah.
course.
Like you just look at someone for like what they do.
Yeah,
It's not a team
skateboarder.
thing. It's
Yeah,
a
yeah.
very personal thing. And I just felt like if I can allow like one more deserving person to go, like I'm happy to do that. And like, I feel like empowered going for Finland. Like I would feel empowered going for the US, but
Yeah.
like I said, I want like more people to go. Like I want to be there with my friends.
So your thinking was that there's a lot of USA women skaters that could make it into there, and then are there less Finnish girls? I don't know. I'm not.
Skateboarding, like it's like based out of the US. Like most of the talent is here. And like there's some people from other countries, and like Brazil has a huge scene, and
Huge.
as you were seeing, like Japan is like they're having a
Killing
bunch of
it.
girls coming out from there.
Yeah.
And so like those are the big kind of pools of where the talent lies. And for Finland, there's girls that are competing right now, but not at the same level.
Okay.
Like there's girls that rip out there,
Sure.
but like I said, like contest wise, not the same.
I like the way you think about that, actually. It makes sense.
yeah. So more people can see everybody's talents. Is that where you're?
Just more people can see skateboarding in like the best view.
Right.
Like I said, like skateboarding isn't about where you're from. It's about like what you bring to the table. You're an artist and you do these things, and this is your style and this is how you feel about them. Mm-hmm. It's very personal. Like skateboarding's a form of expression, and like I said, it sucks that the best like won't all be there.
Well, most of them will, but not all of them. I know what you're saying, though.
But
You're
even-
making
even
it
that-
open more.
Even that, like just because you skate contest doesn't mean you're the best.
True. Yeah.
Like
I didn't even
like it's not even all about like I want to say like there's so much more to skateboarding than contests, and I grew up skating contests. Like I like contests.
Yeah.
Like filming a video part was one of the hardest things I've ever done, and like I think that it's cool that there's all these avenues. Like Axel, he makes a living off of filming video parts.
Yeah.
And I think if other people realize that skateboarding is more than just contest skating, like, that's a beautiful thing, and I want to share that with as many people as I can because I'm so passionate about it.
Sure.
As it's going this way, people are looking at skateboarding. It's a culture, like we all grew up on it, but now it's also like a sport.
Yeah.
So there's two different ways of looking at it nowadays, you know?
Yeah.
For the newer generation, they're like, cool, I can go to the Olympics. I want to do this. I'm going to train. And we're like, cool, I'm going to listen to some music and go skate and mess around. Sometimes it takes you somewhere, and sometimes it doesn't, but it's just weird.
It's going to be interesting.
I think it's like music. Like, there's people who are in music and they're really artists. And then there's people in music and they're performers.
True.
And so, like, there's, you know, like, music's going to continue. There's more genres than ever. And, like, there's room for everyone. And, like, there's going to be pop stars. And then there's going to be, like, people that just want to, like, perform to a couple people and, like, want to have, like, a really good performance, or, like, there's always going to be jazz.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, I think that's really important to remember. And, like, it's not about going out there to be the best. It's a personal thing.
Yeah. But you want to win the gold, right?
I mean, if I have the day, like, a good day and, like, I skate and I deserve it, absolutely.
Sure.
I would feel terrible if I, like, won and I didn't deserve it.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Like, that would be terrible.
Right, for
So,
sure.
Like I said, it's, like, about,
Blame the
like,
judges.
doing your thing and, like, setting out personal goals. Like, I don't go to contests to beat everyone. I go to contests to, like, do my personal best.
Well, I think you're going to get that gold, okay? And we're going to put it right here on the sign. Here. We're going to hang it right here. at the
Claiming it
Hunt
already?
Club. Yeah.
It's like, it's going to reside in Venice, California.
Yeah, take good care of it.
Finish,
Lizzie.
Someone's gold
the
is going
finished
up there.
gold
Take good care of it.
reside in Venice.
Yeah.
But a medal is a medal. I don't think it's, like, owned by a country, is it?
No, I don't think so. It'd
Well,
be
they-
funny that we're not from Finland at all, and it'd be here. That's why I think it'd be funny.
It'd be here. It'd be in California anyway.
Yeah, true.
But it's
Yes.
going to look great on our sign. Let me tell you.
It would probably need a place to live, like, and be enjoyed.
You got a mantle?
Ironically, I do. Like, so this year, like, I don't know. We've finally been filling up our house, like, with, like, normal furniture, and, like, it's, like, it feels like a home. Mm-hmm. And we have a mantle, and this year I just decided that every time there's, like, an award or, like, some kind of milestone, we'll, like, throw it up there. So, like, there's, like, my medals from, like, contests I skated this year, and, like, Axel's, like, medals from the contest he skated this year, and there's, like, his cover. Mm-hmm. There's, like, a bunch of miscellaneous. There's my friend's medal up there too, like, from
See,
Bird Attack.
you're holding your friend's medals, so we'll hold yours.
You can't. I'll bring it by.
I need a. Please do.
Do a little photo shoot with it.
I need a mantle. I don't have one.
You have one right behind you. You have your own thing on
I'm
repeat.
in my own house. I don't know what I'd put on there, but
You can make one.
I don't really have any accolades though.
There's always accolades. There's personal ones.
Yeah, but not really stuff to display. Like I'd have to like paper mache something or like make it like order it online.
I feel like everyone, like, you know, it's not like people are stagnant and they don't try. I mean, there's some people that, like, they don't try and they never, like, do anything. But, like, as skateboarders, I feel like most people are, like, they're always moving and they're always, like, growing or progressing in some way. And, like, maybe it's not always skating or, like, you know, winning a contest. But there's a lot of, like, skateboarders, they're so, like, they can't sit still. Like, they're always just, like, doing stuff, I feel like.
Yeah.
I love sitting still. Yeah. My couch is my favorite place, Lizzie.
But your mind's always going.
I have a plant too. Hank.
You named him?
Yeah.
It's a him.
It's a him. I got a girl cat, Larry, and Hank.
Does it make you happy?
Love them.
Don't you have plants too? You
love
brought
them.
some plants with you.
Yeah, so I brought over my orchid. It bloomed again, and I was really impressed because usually you get orchids from the store, and, like,
Just die.
I'm a novice, like, plant owner, take care, keeper, I don't know. But, and it bloomed again. I was, like, really shocked. I felt like I, like, leveled up.
I think you're the first person. No. Actually, Brian Herman brought plants with him.
That's
right,
right.
dude.
Yeah.
We killed those things.
Yeah. He left him here. We killed.
Really?
Raj killed him by accident. Yeah. What
It
were they?
happens.
There were some. What were they?
It's
Some
like
type of edible.
Yeah.
Like
Like
an
mint?
herb or.
It's like
Was it?
spinach.
No, it was spinach. It was
Basil.
Was it basil? It was. It was
No.
basil.
Those ones are
No.
hard to keep alive.
It might have been basil, actually.
Oh, So in my Saturdays part, like in the end, I like do a kickflip indie.
Yeah.
And in that
Amazing.
clip, like Tony's like, ah.
Yeah.
On that try, he it was for like that try was like, hey, if you make it now, I'll bake you a cake. And then him and Katie baked me a cake.
How long were you trying it for?
I wanted to get one for my Thrasher part, but it just didn't work out.
What kind of cake do you make you?
Carrot?
Lemon.
Lemon cake.
We were listening to Beyonce and like Lemonade just came out, so he made me a lemon cake.
Did you choose or they just made you a cake?
I think I chose. And it was just like, I also am a big fan of Beyonce. Like,
yeah.
I just watched her old documentary and I was like, I don't know. I am such a fan of her work. Like, not just like her music and for her being like it's more like she's such a good performer and she like has this, like she's very produced and like she controls all her work and like she's like kind of like over this empire and like she's just supposed to make music and like at the level she's doing it, it's nuts. And so it's like I think it's really cool for her to like be an artist and still like do all these things and like be successful and I don't know, just it's so crazy. Her like I don't know, for me like looking at where she is, it's like it's crazy.
Yeah, she's very talented.
Super.
And like
Very
having
talented.
like the right people behind her to like get her to that position.
She probably has a manager too.
Yeah.
Few of them.
The movie I watched, it was about like her dad was her manager and then she basically had to like cut him off and then she was like, I'm gonna do this myself. And like in it she's like, yeah, I need my dad back, like it's like always business with him and like I can't do this and like I want to grow and I want to be my own artist and like it was like really cool to I don't know, just see her process because she's a super private person and like she has her work that she puts out there but then at the end of the day she's like she has a family and like
Sure.
I don't know, she's like in the limelight so much but then she has her own personal life and
Yeah.
I don't know, just I really respect her.
I think it's important sometimes too, with all the social media out there and everything. It's like it's nice to have a divide of like privacy and what you put out in the public. It's like
so
for
easy
me,
to get lost.
For me with social media, like I don't put any of my family on there, like any of my private life. Like I try to keep it pretty, straight down the skateboarding and just funny stuff that I enjoy.
Well,
I don't know. It's nice to be private. It's nice to have stuff for yourself.
Absolutely.
If you're that famous and then you also have your husband who's just as famous, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they don't, or Jay-Z doesn't have an Instagram or anything. So
I don't know.
I think that's a lot going on for them. Even already they're like huge performers. So
What about you? How's your social media? Do you enjoy social media? Do you not enjoy it? Do you try to, be private and not put a lot of stuff out there? Like what's your take on it? How do you navigate that?
It's difficult at times. I feel like ever since the algorithm stuff's come up, it's definitely a different ball game, and I feel like I have to look at it different. Like it's not like Instagram isn't instant anymore. Like it's
Sure.
very curated, and it's kind of hard at times to feel like you're just like free flowing and like being relevant or like being good at doing that.
Yeah.
It's like
In
you
the
have to
moment.
be. I don't know. There's like a good mix for it. Like I trip out on how good Tony is at it. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
He's a pro all the way around.
Yep.
Like he's a pro at talking to people, skating. Like he's just he's a pro. He knows what he's doing.
But I don't know. I mix it up. Like
Yeah.
I put a lot of stuff on my story. But I put more personal stuff up on my story. But as far as making posts, like unless I really feel like I have something to say, I don't really use that willy nilly. And maybe to my detriment, because I know the more you post, like the more you get out there.
Right.
And I've seen when I like don't post, I start losing followers. But at the end of the day, like I think it's good for like, I don't know, like I try not to follow it too closely. And I know that there's like a time to be like present and there's like a time to like be working. And I
True.
try to balance that out because like in the end of the day, like we're all living our lives and you can't live your life on social media. It's
Yeah.
no life at all.
Sure. Gosh. What about DMs? Do you answer all your DMs or do you, it's tough. I mean, you must probably get a lot of them.
I don't. There's like such a mix and there's a lot of just kind of just like spam out there. So I'm like, I don't really care to do that. Like I'd rather, just like I said, be in real life.
But the thing is with the DMs too, it's
sometimes
like
it's like, hey babe. It's like
really? That's a good intro.
I mean,
And you're all, hey, what's up? What do you say to that? Yeah.
Yeah, bored. What are you doing? It's like, I'm gonna go skate. I'm gonna go do this thing. There's so many other things that are more productive, and
right.
I'm sure it makes a lot of people's days. Like if I do respond, and I think in the appropriate situation, like, it's needed. Like there's been times where I've seen DMs where it's like people like asking for, it was like over the line. Like it was like too much. It was like, I feel like I'm going to kill myself or something like that. And it's like, that's so scary to respond to, because then like I'm putting myself, like in a really bad position.
Totally. Yeah.
And it's not like, I think mental health is so important. And like, if you have mental health issues, you should really reach out to someone who's like
a professional.
Yeah. And like, I'm not a professional at that. Like,
sure.
I'm not equipped.
It's tough.
There's like a lot of positive ones, and sometimes I screenshot them just to like have them so that like they'll be in my like, eventually they'll get to my hard drive, and it'll be like a bookmark in time.
Right.
So I do see like good ones
It's your
too.
Pinterest board.
Yeah. But it's crazy. There's so much out there, and like, there's, like I said, you could get lost on social media.
And a lot of these people too, they want to have a conversation with you, and you're a busy person. You can't sit there and have conversations with everybody that DMs you. It's a lot.
Yeah.
Unless maybe you do want to have conversation. I don't know.
I feel like I have my friends, and I'm not maxed out on them. Like I'm definitely down for some more friends.
Sure.
But I mean, unless I really like have a personal connection, or like
right,
there's something going on, like I'm probably not gonna respond.
Hey babe's not doing it for you.
No,
Right.
especially if you're just like catcalling. Like it's just spam.
Sure.
Like,
Right.
And I even get comments on my post, which is like crazy, because it's like I see all of them. Like I'm not that big where I'm just like someone else is managing my Instagram. Like,
or you don't go through every comment, and
I see a lot of them though.
Yeah.
Like I have it turned on, and I just like I glance through, and then I just like delete them, or like delete like my notifications.
Post notifications, right?
Yeah.
You delete
What
the
do
ones
they-
you don't like, or
No, it's just
on
her
my,
notifications.
So like on my phone, like I have it where only the people I follow, I get their
Yeah.
likes, and then anyone who comments on my posts, I see it.
Yeah.
Oh.
So you're seeing everything,
Yeah.
and what were you saying about not like people leaving comments that they think that you don't see it?
Oh, there's like, I think it was today or yesterday. I was like, someone was like, I would eat her farts, and I was just like,
Wow, Kelly, don't leave those kind of comments,
dude, I would never do that. That's not even funny, dude.
I
That's
see
insane. That's insane.
that.
Someone
I
just
know
eating
it's
a big bowl of
skateboarding,
farts.
and like we're all immature to a certain degree, but I was just like, imagine someone coming up to you in real life and saying
Oh,
that
yeah.
to your face. Like they're just behind their phone and they think they're invisible, but
Yeah.
you're not invisible right now.
Oh my god! Do you do you delete that, or do you just
No.
let it go?
I let
'Cause
that out. I don't know. It's not hate mail.
right.
It's not hurting anyone. It honestly, I think it just makes them look silly.
Exactly.
And the best part about social media too, sometimes, is when your fans or other people are
Roast
commenting and roasting them, or got your back. Those
Yeah.
are some of the, because sometimes you want to delete some comments that are kind of crazy, but sometimes I'm like, you know what, let me let other people take care of this guy. And
In the
let
end, like if someone's super out of line, like I
Sure.
think the skateboarding community, it's like is so protective that a lot of the times like people stand up and say what's right.
Yeah.
And there's times where like, I'm not going to have to respond, but like you said, like other people are going to be like, this isn't okay.
Yeah.
Sure. It's everywhere. Social media.
Well, it's crazy how fast it's evolving.
Oh my God.
So, like you
Totally
said,
different 3 years ago.
It was instant back, like Instagram, like whatever. Yeah, 3 years ago. Now there's the comments. You could like it. You could comment on a comment, which could turn into some other beast.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So
People are arguing in your feed.
Yeah.
It's like you came into my house and now you're arguing in my house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Came in with dirty feet.
I actually just did a piece with Samaria and Jen Soto.
Oh, the Aaron Smith.
Aaron,
Yeah,
yeah,
and
it was amazing.
It was on like social media stuff, just like basically like internet bullying, and like
Yeah.
everyone's like been there or been a bystander to it, and I think it was like a very needed message, just because like to a certain degree you can't take the internet too seriously, but then you know, like I said, all these comments, I see them, and like, you know, I've grown to the place where I don't take them personally, but I think for other people, like getting hate mail and like poor comments, like that's not okay. And like, I don't know, like you wouldn't do that in real life, so you shouldn't be doing that on the internet.
Totally. It was a very powerful piece. I liked it a lot. He did a great job. Did you take comments or DMs from your personal stuff and give it to them so they could read it?
They went
Stuff
through
like that?
everything.
Oh, they went through stuff. And
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm glad I didn't have to go through all my comments and look for the poor ones.
Wow.
I just feel when people, I don't do that obviously, but if someone does, like it's not coming from something like deep inside them. They're just like writing crap on the internet.
Sometimes it does though.
Yeah.
Like I
Yeah.
think there's people that like, you know, they've grown up with like maybe they're coming from a place of hurt and they're unleashing it on you.
Sure.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the times like they're the ones with these problems and they're just projecting, or like they just weren't taught, like they weren't given the tools to be like, I don't know, like have a better view on like what they're doing.
True.
Like
yeah.
some people don't know how hateful or hurtful the things they're saying.
Yeah.
And maybe it's because they're getting abused themselves.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah. True.
Yeah. You never know what other people are going through.
No.
You know, for sure.
I think a blanket rule is just like if you don't have anything good to say, don't
say
say
it all.
it.
Exactly.
It's
Yeah.
an old saying. Yeah. I always keep it positive. you know?
Absolutely. It doesn't do anyone good just saying poor things. Like
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Like I don't know. You can feel a certain way and I don't know, realize where it's coming from.
Yeah.
Like I think that's like important, and to know your like intention. Like if you're just saying something to be hateful, it's because you're sour. Like you don't need to bring anyone else down.
Yeah.
And a lot of times too, even if it's a DM or a comment and you comment back with positive stuff, a lot of the times they'll end up sending you a DM or commenting back like, hey, I'm so sorry. Like I was in a weird place that day and I just lashed out, and they almost like apologize,
Yeah.
you know? And that's like, you're like, hey, no big deal. You know, I understand. Don't worry about it. You know,
We're all
just-
human.
seriously. Yeah.
Well, it's one thing if you're doing like positive things and then you get negative comments. That's insane. But if you're doing something negative and getting negative comments, that makes sense. Maybe you deserve it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's like where it goes to intention. So
Yeah.
like maybe you're saying something like, oh, this isn't okay, this is negative, like or like, you know, maybe you're saying like, oh, that's stupid
Yeah.
because you're being stupid.
Exactly. But if you're just like, if you're posting skating and someone's saying something negative, it's like, what's going on here? dude?
Stop following me.
Yeah, like
Right.
Yeah, just go somewhere else. Like sometimes it'll happen. You'll be like, just save your time, stop and go. Just focus on something else.
Well, it's funny because one of my favorite features on YouTube, and I heard that they're going to actually implement this on Instagram, is that if, say, I make a video and Roger starts talking shit in the comments, I can hide Roger from the comments. He still thinks he's commenting, but he's only commenting to himself. He's the only one that can see him.
Yeah, so if I went on there, I'm the only one that could see that comment.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
It's pretty cool. So I heard actually, so it's like, oh, this guy's being an asshole. He's not blocked, but
Actually,
he's hidden.
I take that back. I don't know if that's cool because like Roger's never gonna learn.
But he's not getting any, there's nobody,
Feeding
seeing
him.
no
True.
one's feeding into him. You know, he's not getting any comments or likes back. So he's
Yeah.
just basically talking to himself.
Yeah.
True.
So instead of blocking somebody fully and being like, oh, and actually, you know, hey, I blocked you. This is more like you're hidden.
Yeah.
And they don't know it.
That's kind of weird.
I love it. I think it's the best.
I know. I think it's good.
It's
'Cause
a
I don't wanna-
double-edged sword.
I don't want to
Yeah,
block
it's-
anybody. I don't
You're
want to
right, though,
block.
They don't learn.
That's
'Cause
true.
They're going to keep on doing it.
But they're only
Yeah.
doing it to themselves.
Yeah, but
that's
they,
the
need, they
thing.
need to learn.
Yeah.
That's the end
But
of
yeah,
the day.
Some people,
But
they don't want to learn.
You hit them.
True.
They're just doing it
That
themselves.
haven't hidden them yet.
Huh?
So you might have hidden them, but other people haven't hidden them yet.
Sure. But that's on them.
Yeah.
True.
But some people don't
Yeah.
want to learn. They don't care. I
Yeah.
think, you know, you could try to talk to them all day long, and they just want to be hateful or hurtful. I don't know. I like that feature. I think it's amazing because it's not hurting anybody.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like, hey, dude, you're blocked, or you're hidden.
It depends on the situation, I guess I would say. So
Well, like you wouldn't hide maybe the fart guy, but you know,
yeah.
maybe somebody else. Yeah.
What I would do it probably is hide them or whatever you do and hit them up like, hey man, should probably just stop saying what you're saying. It's really not. It's not helping at all.
It could direct it at you though. I don't know. It depends. I guess if you feel
engage.
strongly enough.
Yeah,
you might want to.
I don't like anyone speaking anything negative for no reason. So I kind of like to address them like, hey, just relax.
Sometimes all they're looking for is engagement. Anyway,
Exactly.
So, Anyway, social media. It's a whole beast. Lizzie, what is your future hold for you? What do you want to do? Okay, we got the Olympics coming up. What's so funny? We got the Olympics coming up. That's 2020, right? Okay, that passes by, right? You win the gold. We put it up here behind us. Everything's good. Now what? Now what? More video parts, contests?
Yeah, I want to do video parts probably. I feel like I want to go back to being a skate, or not go back, but
I love that. Yeah.
like in my head it's just like, I'm going to do skateboarding.
Sure.
Like right now I'm going to focus on contests and do this thing, and like I feel like this is important, and then I don't know, like skateboarding doesn't stop. Like that's just going to continue.
It's just a mindset that you're
absolutely.
switching.
Yeah, and like I guess, like I said, filming is like such a different thing for me.
Yeah.
Like it feels very manual. Like,
Yeah.
Whereas contests, it's like we're back.
But it's
Like,
very,
we're gonna do
but
thing.
the video parts are very fulfilling and rewarding in themselves. When you get to see the end product, and like your part in Saturdays was incredible, great song, everything it was just great. So that you see the end result, and you're like, wow, that was.
That's your art that you're putting
Yeah.
out there to the world, you know?
Yeah,
But you don't like? What do you don't like it, or you do? What
I
you
do. I just like. I guess I always feel like I can do better,
Yeah,
and
of
like.
course.
I guess I'm like, I'm so eager to like continue that. Like, I'm like, I can't wait for the next video part, if that makes sense.
Right.
Cause I like the challenge,
Yeah.
and I like that it's like manual, and I want to like grow and like try different forms of skating, and
And
like,
you could learn new tricks too while you're trying to film.
yeah, I mean, I do that for contests anyway, but
Okay.
I mean,
different style of learning new tricks.
Right.
what's up with the street stuff? Maybe we'll see you in the streets
Street
or
part.
what?
Oh, street part.
Yeah, maybe,
You and
but I don't
Axel.
know. Like, I'm down to skate street, but I'm not gonna say like I'm good at it. Like, there's so many people who are really talented, and I think like deserve the limelight in being a street skater. And I'm not gonna I don't want to take away from anyone else. But I enjoy skating street, and I enjoy like just being out there, and I don't know. It's such a different feeling, and
Different vibe,
it's
too.
really refreshing.
Yeah.
I bet.
Like, I'm so out of my comfort zone, and I don't know. It's
Do you ever go on missions with Axel at all? Like street missions? If he's filming something or something like that?
Yeah, I've been with him like a couple times, but I don't know. Like the times I went, it wasn't like exciting. I don't know.
You're just like, this
around.
is. Yeah,
You're
this
like,
is.
dude, you landed already?
I'm gonna take an Uber home.
I just haven't. I don't know. Like just like when we're in other places and we just go skate, we have the best time.
Sure.
Like like earlier this year, we went to Italy. We went to Monaco to go to this like award show, and it was Nuts Tony was there. It was the Laureus Awards, and then after Axel and I stayed and just rented a car, and then we drove from France to Italy, and then like went and ate amazing food and saw like the beautiful beaches of Italy, and then went all the way to the other side and then skated vert with Giorgio Zattoni.
Oh, wow.
And
No
like
way.
skated his home park, and
Wow.
like he's so fun to skate with.
amazing.
And then like Axel is skating the vert too, and like there's just like janky street course, and it looks like it's like time warp, like out of a time warp. Like it's such an old classic park. Like it's like metal ramps and like
Wow.
I don't know. It's janky but awesome.
Right.
And
Wow.
it was just such a good feeling just going around skating and just doing that stuff, like freestyling.
Yeah. Sometimes it's the best stuff, when you don't have to work.
Yeah.
Basically,
It was just one of those days
Enjoy
where
yourself.
Yeah.
it's like you could, like while it was happening, it was just like, this is crazy.
Yeah. Especially in another country and all that stuff. It's great. I think the best part about skating is the traveling. That's the biggest, for me, it was the biggest perk, is just being able to see the world.
Absolutely. It's so
incredible.
good.
Oh,
Like for you, like just to like, it changes your perspective, and like, I feel like you take things for granted where you live that you don't realize are like such amazing things.
for sure. There's a
And-
lot out there.
Now that I feel like I've traveled quite a bit now, and now when I come home, I appreciate it so much. Whereas before, I was like, I don't care. I just want to leave. Like, I want to go see everything.
Right.
And now I'm like, there's so much here. It's nuts.
Well, listen, super stoked you came by. This is incredible.
Yes, thanks for the snacks too. and
Thank you for the
boba.
boba,
You're
the
welcome.
muffins, everything.
Those muffins were so good.
Yeah.
Can we give you some 9 Club stuff to take home with you? Maybe a mug, some clothes,
I'm down.
stickers. Okay. What size do you wear? Small?
Probably a small.
Small?
Okay. All right.
Kelly, grab her a couple things. We appreciate that.
Something colorful.
Yeah, we only have black. Hopefully that
Black
works.
is all the colors.
That's true. That's true. But seriously, though, super stoked for you. Much
Thank you.
success for
It's
everything.
been cool coming up here. It's crazy to be here in real life.
It was fun, right?
Yeah,
It was a good time.
it's
nice
mellow.
little chat. Yeah. Axel's out skating right now. He's going to come back, scoop you up. What are you guys going to do? Go have
Probably meet up with my brother and get dinner.
Okay.
Maybe meet up with like other people that are around here.
Nice.
You still have family that lives around Santa Monica?
Yeah, so my parents and my brother, they still live in Santa Monica.
Dope.
All right.
And do you have a favorite eating spot when you come back up here? Are you like, we must go here?
Bay Cities?
That's like the spot we go to right before we leave out of LAX.
All right.
And like grab like a sandwich for the plane.
Okay.
Other than that, like I really like Lares on Pico. It's like really nice Mexican food.
Okay.
And what else is it? Sushi House on Pico is also
Sushi house.
really. Or wait, no, is it on Pico? It's on. Yeah, it's on Pico.
Okay. I don't know if I've heard of that place.
There's this place on Main Street called Blue. What is it called? I'm spacing right now, but it's like a rice triangle place, and they like
Oh, yeah.
they like
It's down on the left.
Super
Sunny
good.
Blue.
Sunny Blue.
yeah. So they have like super good triangles,
Those are.
but I always forget about them because it's like you
it's a little
can't-
hole in the wall.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's amazing. They got like the curry ones, the beef one. Curry's my favorite, by the way. Love the curry. I usually get like 2 curries and 2 beefs.
So good.
They also have a Sunny Blue on Washington.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it new?
A couple years been there.
Axel and I love going to Japan. That's like
That's a place.
that's one of our favorite places to travel to. And we just like go nuts for like all the food and just like also just getting lost there is so fun.
Yeah.
I've never been. I want to go. Been to China.
It's amazing. It's nothing like China.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I mean, aside from the fact that it's foreign
yeah,
and in Asia.
right. Thank you, Kelly. Here we go. Also, too, you've been immortalized in a video game. You've been Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5 or something. What was it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Imagine
think
if you
should be
could play
involved.
like video games Switch somehow. I don't know.
Turn the controller upside down.
Yeah. Is that like a
Blindfold?
thing though?
I think
Does
some
it-
people do.
Like I know there's like such crazy gaming culture. Like people make ridiculous amount of money just video gaming. So
Twitch,
imagine
yeah.
like, you're just like, oh yeah, like he plays Switch. Or like he was doing this crazy
You
thing
gotta turn the
and it
controller
was
upside
all
down.
Switch.
Yeah.
It was Switch backside like or like behind
Switch
his back.
backside. Perfect.
Wow.
First of all, Lizzie,
Thank you.
thank you so much for coming by. Amazing.
Nice
like I
mic
said.
tip.
What? Oh, I have to do the little thing. Yeah, once again. Here's a 9 Club hat for you. New era, This is one of
thank
our...
you.
For those bad hair days.
She never has bad hair days.
When I have short hair, maybe I will.
Here's
I'll
a
have to do
9
it.
Club mug. Here's some stickers for your board,
Thank
by the
you.
way. We have photo
My new
incentives.
sponsor.
Next time you get the Thrasher cover.
You have to send me the incentives list.
20. It's just $20.
Okay.
Yeah, whatever.
No matter where it's
yeah,
at. Yeah.
it's preferably a cover.
Yeah.
2 covers.
What's-
Transworld and Thrasher, right? More?
What's the like cap on the incentives? I
many-
can get
what
a
do
lot
we-
of coverage. I don't know. I'm not trying to.
Let's find the cap.
Never mind. I'll just send you in all the photos
Send me a...
and videos.
We'll
So like,
just-
do you guys do per view and stuff like on like my next part?
No.
Or like, what about like the Olympics? Like if like how many views that gets,
Oh.
and I have like this sticker.
If you wear a 9 Club
What's it- what's
shirt during the Olympics,
What's it, NBC?
$20, right?
NBC? We'll give her 40. Is that NBC or something? What's it going to be on? Do we know? ABC, NBC? So one of those
It's
networks.
NBC. I'm pretty sure. I'm not positive.
$40?
On the
don't know.
podium with the medal, 9 Club tee,
$50.
$50.
Wow.
Whoa.
And we get the medal.
To some people,
Don't
this
act
might be a really
don't act
great
super
deal.
excited, Lizzie. Here's a small 9 Club shirt for the podium.
I'll keep it nice.
Please. And anytime you want more, let us know. Here's a blue crew neck for you. You could go back in our warehouse after the show. Raj is our warehouse manager.
Let's swap it out.
He'll take you through there. Oh, blue 9 Club shirt for you. I think
Thank
we only
you.
had a couple of those left out there.
Yeah, there's a few. The long sleeve as well.
Long sleeve.
I'm gonna crop it.
Oh, yeah,
for it.
please do. Yeah.
So like this shirt, I like. Oh, sorry to make this about me.
No,
So like,
That's right.
so
what we're here for.
this is a part of like my new collection, and then on the inside there's like a line where you can like cut the shirt if you want it to be like a crop top or like, you know, like change.
Wait a minute. That line looks very close to where it's already cut.
So like you can cut it like wherever you want, but this is like suggestion. So I could probably cut it like here, and then it'd be like similar.
Wait a minute. You haven't cut that yet.
I cut it
Oh,
already.
you cut it already. So it's a
Yeah.
regular shirt.
Yeah, so like here you can cut the sleeves off. It's in here somewhere. But like you can make it like that, so it's like a buttercup sleeve.
So you have lines in the shirt to
Like not many other clothes like we have it where it's like, hey, cut the dotted line here.
Yeah, I
Most
think
people,
Dickies
most
did that with
sponsors are like,
pants
don't
once.
mess up our product. We want to sell it like this.
you're like
Yeah,
cut
yeah.
this up.
But I'm like, this is what I do. So here's like, if you want to do what I do.
I like that. Raj will
Modify.
cut up his next shirt with a
little
he'll make it a
crop top.
crop
Oh,
top.
the crop
Yeah.
top would be fantastic.
I don't think anybody wants to see it, but he'll do it. Here's a long sleeve 9 Club shirt for
Buttercup
you.
sleeves.
How's that?
Oh, that farmer's
Good?
tan is awesome,
it looks
Raj.
good.
Getting
What's going-
cold.
Christian, he was all into like DIYing
Oh, yeah.
shirts. Remember?
Yeah.
Still is.
Yes.
Raj,
funny.
dude, you need some sun on those arms, bro.
Wow.
Jeez. That is 2 different colors.
White boy.
Wow. Also, too, it's getting cold out. You know, if you travel to the
Arctic.
Arctic or the Alps, you know,
You might need more than that sweatshirt, but
9 Club.
Go to Finland
small.
in the winter.
First
There you
layer.
go.
It gets so cold there. It's crazy.
Well, now
And
you
then like they do the thing where they're like, oh, we're gonna go in the sauna. And it's like 200 degrees in there, and then they like go in the ice lakes.
oh,
polar
Cold
bear.
plunge.
jeez.
It's awesome, but it's pretty intense.
Have you ever done it?
Yeah.
You in the polar bear swim?
Yeah. So you go into the sauna and you're just like crazy hot, and then you jump into the ice water, and it's really like it shocks
It's
your
good for
body,
circulation.
and like
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
really good for your nervous system.
I just
And-
like cold.
I feel
Like
like
you'll
it would-
be in there, and there'll be like old couples in there, and they're just like, and like I was in there, and I'm just
That
like,
was a good
it
impression.
burns, and like I don't know, like at a certain point you get so hot, it's like, okay, this is so uncomfortable. I need to go in the ice water, and you go outside, and you're just like steaming hot, and you're like, this feels great, and you're
done
in
it, yeah.
you're in the snow. It's
I don't know
crazy.
if I like that. I don't like cold. That's why I'm not the surfer.
But the thing is,
I don't like the cold.
It's so extreme that you can't really. It's not like just being cold. I don't know how to explain it.
I don't know. I feel like I'd have a heart attack or
Yeah, I
something.
feel like I almost pass out when I get into cold stuff. Like it's like you get in the pool and it's cold. I'm like, oh my god, like, I
forgot.
get like dizzy.
I
It's
forgot
not
your-
good for some people.
I
Yeah.
forgot your 9 Club mug. Sorry.
Thank
I thought
you.
that was mine with
This
my
is
coffee.
gonna go into the collection.
Are you a mug collector?
I'm not, but
Oh.
Starting now.
yeah, we have like a couple mugs at the house, and a couple of them are like sponsor mugs that they just like happen to make.
Sure.
And so this is gonna go into that collection.
Well, we have more back there if you want
We have different
more.
ones, yeah.
Yeah. Maybe,
Go into steel mill. I'll like.
yeah. Please fill up my 9 Club mug.
I would like a chai tea.
I know you like the bobas,
Mm-hmm.
teas. What about in the mornings? Coffee, tea? No coffee.
I'm really sensitive to caffeine,
Are
so
you?
like even right now, like just having this, like I can tell I'm like.
You're wired.
That's why I'm talking at like 100 miles an hour. Like normally I'd just be like, yeah, hey,
Hey.
how's it going, guys? And then now I'm just like, yeah. So I can't do coffee in the morning. It's too much, especially if I want to get a tea later.
How do you wake up?
I go in the ocean actually.
Oh,
Do you
Like
really?
like this morning, Axel and I got up, and then we just went to the beach, jumped in. It was pretty cold today, and then like run back home, and then like start our day.
do you live close to the beach or do you have to drive over there?
We drive.
Oh,
It's
okay.
like 2 miles, so it's like a 5-minute drive.
Not
Why,
really
wait, why
my-
did you move down to Oceanside? Or is that where you live?
Yeah, so just for transition skateboarding, there's so many more parks, and like there's a scene, and like compared to living up here, I used to just drive to Orange County, and now down there's like even more parks than when I first moved, and I can still get to Orange County and I can still come up to LA. But there's rarely ever anything to do in LA aside from like I come up here to see my family.
Sure.
Or like if there's like some sort of like shoot or something where it's like, come here, we need you here. We want to do this specifically here.
It's almost like move down there out of necessity for all the skate parks and stuff.
It's crazy though, just because like growing up here, it's like there's so much to do and it's kind of like chaotic. And like traveling, it's like there's all these things and it's also chaotic. And going down there, I now appreciate the peace.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm like wondering like, oh, I can't believe I lived up there and I thought that was normal. Or like, I guess your normal always changes, but it's been really cool to just like have that adjustment. And like, I feel like I get the best of both worlds, and I'm just a drive away.
And you like it down there?
Yeah, it's so beautiful. Like I said, like in our backyard, we have so many birds, and there's like lizards, and there's like a bunch of stuff, like nature stuff. Like you can drive out to like Julian, or like
Go apple picking.
yeah, or like even we'll go down south and like get Asian food, and
Okay. Yeah.
there's like a bunch of stuff to do. It's just different.
Very cool.
Everything closes at 9 though, so like if you go
yeah.
skate and you like come home, if you don't have stuff at the house, it's like everything's closed.
Right.
Unless you go to a bar and then it's just like,
Bar
here's
food.
this deep fried whatever.
Ugh.
Yeah,
and, you know, after a long day of skating, sometimes that's like,
The worst thing.
The worst. Oh.
you
I
just
had,
set
I had a
yourself
question
over.
too. I don't know if this is weird or not,
Go
but
ahead.
how did you initially meet Axel?
This is a really good story. I love it. So I met Axel when I went to Copenhagen for the Open, because Monster sponsors that event. And pretty much, like, I skated the bowl thing there, but the rest of it is just street skating, and like I'd go to all the things, but it's like a big party.
Yeah,
Like
that's
it's
what it
such a
looks
fun event. And I met Axel, and we were just like hanging out, and like I had no idea like who he really was. I mean, I was at the King of the Road thing where he was also there, but you know, I didn't like meet him or anything. Like there's a lot of things where like, you know, you can be at a big place, but that doesn't mean you meet everyone there.
Sure.
Yeah.
True.
Like skateboarding is so big in that sense.
Yeah.
And pretty much just like met him there, and like we were like hanging out and then like texting, and like he had to go on a, he like once it ended, he went on a trip, and I like went to a contest in Malmo, and we were like texting. And actually like one of the first days, like we were hanging out in the like at night, we were like after the parties and stuff, we went back to the hotel and we were like hanging out on the roof. Like we like climbed through the window and stuff, and we're just like running around on the roof.
Just you and him.
Yeah, just like super sketchy.
Oh.
And then like we're walking alongside the edge, and then it's like a 3-story
Jesus.
building,
Whoa.
and then there's this gutter, and like it's dark. Like there's you're not supposed to be on the roof.
Yeah.
And then like he like stepped in the gutter and fully like almost fell over, and I fully like grabbed him.
Oh, you
so
saved
he-
his life.
So he didn't fall off the building.
Wow.
Yeah, you saved his life.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Oh. Now what happened? Did he ask for your number, or how did that happen?
So he asked for my number, and then I put in my phone wrong, and he went to text me, and he's like, "Did it go through?" And I'm just like,
Oh
I was like,
my
"Oh God."
God. He probably thought you were giving him the wrong number on purpose.
But he's so nice, dude. And I was like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry." It's not like really put it in. Like I guess I messed it up. I'm sorry. It was so embarrassing. And then like basically we were texting. He went to like his filming trip, and I went to a contest. And he's like, "Yeah, you should come to Belgium." And I was like, "Well, I already am in Europe. Like,
Oh,
should I just
wow.
go to Belgium?" And I just decided, I was like, I'll do it. And I like after the contest, like we like met each other in Belgium, and then took the train out to where he's from, which is like this little tiny town in Belgium. And like I got off the train, and it was gravel. I was like, "Oh God, where am I?" And like his parents picked us up, and like his parents are like, "Oh, hi, you have a friend, I guess." Like, and he's like, "Yeah." And like
Oh, he didn't tell him?
he told them, but it's just like, "Yeah, I met this girl last week. Like, yeah, she's coming to Belgium."
Wow.
And like I met his parents, and they didn't really speak much English, and I was just like, he was like, "Oh, we could stay at a hotel, we could stay at my parents," and like he didn't really know what to do either. And
Sure.
like I went, and we were just like kind of like full on, and I don't know,
Wow.
it was awesome though. Like they're super sweet, and like I don't know, I think we just like both liked each other a lot, and then I was like, "Yeah, let's do this," and like we both were just like in new territory kind of.
Yeah, well,
Wow.
it sounds like you went in, you guys were stoked on each other right away, it sounds
Yeah.
like.
Yeah, and it was really cool. Like I had the best time ever, and like he's from nowhere, like the middle of nowhere. Like it's
Yeah.
like fields, and like there's like cows and pastures, like
Wow.
and then his little town.
Huh.
And there's a lot of like memorials from the war.
Oh, wow.
And pretty much I like just had the best time being in the middle of nowhere, and I was like, "Wow, I could totally see like how it'd be awesome to live here." And in my head growing up, I was always like, I wonder how people in the middle of nowhere survive. Like, do they play with rocks and stuff? And it's like, yeah, they do. And that's fun. Like, that's what little kids do.
Skipping rocks.
But it's like someone like him, he's such a talented skateboarder. It's hard to imagine him coming from somewhere like that, right?
Yeah.
Kind of, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's just, I think growing up, he like had a good scene at his skate park and like the right people were around him.
Sure.
And also like right before I like decided to go out there, I like texted my friend that knew him and I was like, is Axel full of shit?
Right.
Like, I'm considering going and like, you know, I really don't know him that well, but he seems really cool and like I want to go hang out with him more, but I felt like I was like, okay.
You need some
friend.
validation.
Yeah,
right?
because he could totally be someone who's shady. It's just like, yeah, don't hang out with him.
Sure.
Like, I'm in another country. I'm traveling by myself, and I'm with like this guy, and then I don't really know him, and I don't know.
So they vouched for him?
Yeah.
Okay.
And now you
They
guys
said
live
he's really
together.
sweet, and like, I don't know. It was just all like, it all worked out really good, and Axel was like in the middle of getting his visa at the same time, and pretty much the following January, he like got it all sorted, and like, on January 1st, he had like a ticket to come here and got delayed 3 times. Like went all the way to the Brussels airport, which is a 2-hour drive.
Okay.
And then like had to go back because there was too much fog at his layover
Oh, wow.
in
geez.
London. And like it was just 3 days of like,
Back and
can
forth.
I get there?
Oh.
Can I get there?
Jeez.
And then eventually he made it and was just like, okay, I'm here. Like after this like whole traumatic thing, and like at one point he had a really good seat and then he traded it for like a poor seat to like just see if he could get on this other flight. And then he ended up getting like, I don't know, just like the poor, like the shittiest situation.
Oh, no.
And he like made it over here and then he's just like, I made it. And I guess now I'm going to live here. I have to like go get a social security, go get a bank
Crazy.
account, go get an ID. Like that's a lot of work, especially if you're like,
Oh, yeah.
you're not from here.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm like figuring
Totally.
out the whole system, and
Wow.
I like helped him through all that.
Well, we got to get Axel on the show. I got to talk to him about this whole gravel.
The hometown of gravel.
Yeah, hometown of gravel.
You should.
Seriously.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
There's like most train stations aren't like that. It's like you get there and it's like,
Platform and the whole
Yeah.
thing. Like you literally got off on like
A random stop.
it was the last stop. Like
train turned around and went back.
Yeah. Wow.
Crazy. Well, it seems like you guys are very happy and your career's going well, killing it. Love it.
thank you you guys for having me.
Of
Yeah,
course.
thanks for coming. Yeah.
Again,
this is
thank you for
awesome.
the boba and the muffins.
It was fun.
Good.
We did the tea party.
First tea party on the 9 Club, huh? How about that?